Minnesota. I'm your host, Alan Tracy.
I'm Rahana Power.
And today we are doing our Oscars nomination as per usual. I
Very
don't know.
excited.
Yeah. Each year it's a little different. This year we have Becca Mayo joining us again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
Welcome,
Thanks for joining
Becca.
us. It's
Yeah.
always been really fun getting to do this with you, so I'm excited that you were able to again.
Yes, me too. Thank you for having me back. I'm
Yeah.
glad the listeners didn't revolt after my strong opinions last year.
I'm with you. I also have very strong opinions about these things, so I feel you.
Yeah. And we will start with, we'll get right into it really, just original screenplay.
Oof.
And the nominees for Best Original Screenplay: Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, May December, Past Lives.
You're so
Oh
good
my.
at that. I love it so much. I just want you to do the not the soundtrack, the narration of my life. It'd just so
I'd be
funny.
happy to.
Um, I'm gonna struggle with this one, so Alan, you go first.
Well, fine. I have no idea either. I just looked at this list. No. I've seen all the movies. Why is May December in here? That's my only question.
I had that thought as well too.
Yes, same.
Like,
That movie was weird. The way that
it is.
not like the premise of the movie, the way that they did it,
Yes.
the way that it was put together was like, what? Why it was just odd.
There were like two lines that we really loved from it. One was at the beginning, like, I think we're out of hot dogs, or we don't have enough hot dogs. And suddenly there's this dramatic music over like that moment. And then the ending where it's like, are you scared? That accent that Natalie Portman does, it's just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh my God.
The
What
list.
is, yeah, the list.
Yes. Yeah. I will say, like Natalie Portman did fantastic, but
Since,
this does not belong in this category to me.
No, and it's too critical of actors to be able to win, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit too critical of the filmmaking process when it's based on real people, I think.
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of like
Like that.
it is kind of set up as dark humor, it said, but it's just like, I know Will Ferrell's or his company was involved, but
Yeah, which was also a little weird. I
then
expected something totally different because of that.
yeah, and then we have like Maestro, which is based on a real person, and so like, what does that say about these other ones? Gosh, I don't know in this group either. I guess as far as a favorite, I would lean towards Past Lives, but just because it's a three-act structure pretty directly, but yeah, I guess that's my pick.
Okay. Becca, what's your pick?
Well, okay. Part of me, and a big part of me, wants to agree with Alan.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason that I can't just outright agree with him is because I have not seen Past Lives, but it's not out of no interest. Like, I'm so interested in it, and I love Greta Lee. I love Greta Lee. Okay, love her.
Yeah.
I am scared to watch it because of how sad I will be. Because I was getting a similar type of vibe from the trailers as La La Land. And follow me here. Stick with me here. Spoiler alert, the ending of La La Land, okay, when they don't end up together, and we get this beautiful sweeping montage of what their life could have been, and that crushed my soul. Okay, it crushed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching these trailers for Past Lives, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I don't know if I can handle all of these emotions.
Hmm.
And, I've thought to myself, okay, maybe this weekend I'll watch it. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm really not ready for that kind of cry
Yeah.
tonight. Not tonight.
I
Okay.
will say I completely understand exactly what you're saying. I don't think it's nearly to that degree. Like it keeps it very realistic and like it breaks up the emotion and how it's so complicated with, yes, I have a connection with you and I care about you and I agree this could have been something. Um, but now this is just the reality of both of our lives.
Oh my God, that sounds
But
crushing to me.
then they and they have these
It is.
conversations and really work through it and you can see the different emotions that they go through, all three characters, and it it's heartbreaking, but it's also really kind of like a breath of fresh air, like seeing the reality of it and being like, this is, this happens. And it's not extreme and trying to go over the top, and it's just very yep, this is a situation and that's okay. Like it keeps it not quite as overblown to try and just tear your emotions apart.
Yeah.
It
Okay,
doesn't.
well, thank
Also,
you. Thank
Yeah.
you for
yeah.
that.
Also,
Mhm.
spoiler alert for all our listeners, as well as Becca and each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry about
just
that.
yes. Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
like, oh, hey, by the way, here's the entire story. Um,
I mean, I
it
like I
is really well
knew
done
I
though.
knew all of what you said, like the
Yeah.
basis, but
Yeah.
I don't think what you said counts as a spoiler.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I
But
didn't
feel
tell
thank
them
you for
feel
the
free
exactly
to
what
disclaimer
happened.
because some people probably will.
Yeah.
feel free to spoil is what I'm saying
I was
too.
gonna,
Oh,
So,
yeah.
thank you.
Disclaimer, I spoil a lot of things on this podcast, so I'm sorry.
And hey, any spoilers for anything that I haven't seen, I'm okay with it because I'll forget by the time I do end up seeing the movie.
Okay,
yeah,
It's all
honestly,
good.
same.
right.
So we're good.
And I mean, okay, I did enjoy the holdovers quite a bit. I loved it.
Okay.
It was I I don't know, I thought it was a fun and cozy movie. Like it was to me it was like a comfort movie where
Hmm.
like I was watching it and I was like this feels familiar, but like in a heartwarming way.
Hmm.
Like I don't know, I do love Paul Giamatti too.
Yeah.
I've loved him ever since Big Fat Liar. I love that
Yeah.
man. But I think the Academy will go with Anatomy of a Fall. I think
Mm,
that's where they're going to go.
okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I'd have a problem with that, but then again, I'm not sure how
Yeah.
European courts work, because to me it was just like, have you all seen it? I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Okay, but it's just Anatomy of a Fall just feels like, I don't know, like every, for us at least, like every I don't know, Law and Order or something, only just like lawyers that just don't have boundaries, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Okay, but
Yeah.
guess what show is still going strong? Dun
Dun,
uh
dun, Law and Order
dun,
SVU,
dun, dun,
baby.
dun,
SVU,
dun.
that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so I think that honestly, for me, it's between Past Lives and Maestro. I loved Maestro so much more than I expected to. I thought it was going to be like, I'm sure it's good. Cool. And that was about where I thought I'd be. And we were done with it, and I was like, that was so good and so well done. And I'm in love with, I mean, Carrie Mulligan already, but even more so from her performance. But which we'll get to later. Um, but I thought that all the choices they made were so excellent. And I mean, they had to write it that way. Uh, so I think I'm gonna go with Maestro.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the spread.
Yeah.
Got a good spread.
No one thinks May December is gonna win, and I think that's the moral of the story here.
Yes. There's a
All
clear
right.
loser. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
All right. How about adapted screenplay, which I
Okay.
have issues with this category.
Yes. I
Yep.
think we talked a little bit about
I think so.
it last year,
Yes.
and I don't remember why, but there was something else that was nominated where I was like,
Yeah. We're like, What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had to explain adapted screenplay further. I remember that.
Yes.
And I forgot about it. And then as soon as I saw this list, I was enraged again.
The
And then
definition
Alan had
of
to remind me, and I was like, you know what? The definition is dumb. How about that? Um, anyway,
And the nominees for adapted screenplay: American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest. Let's have it.
okay. I'm gonna go first this time because I have to do my rant. Um, how is Barbie an adapted screenplay? I understand based on the rules and the stupid definition it is, but it's also not. Like it's not there. It didn't adapt from anything except the existence of a Barbie. Like the fact that the toy exists, and so they were like, we're going to create something based on, and that's it. And that's the dumbest thing in the world. Um, it should be an original screenplay, and it should win. I will leave it at that because I'm sure I have more rants coming. Um,
No, I would argue, based on like that logic too, May December is more of an adapted screenplay. It's just
yes,
that it's not intellectual property. It was real life. It was real
yes,
life, but it was adapted from
ah,
real life.
like Maestro
Okay.
too.
and
Yeah.
Maestro. Then yeah, yeah, and
I mean,
also
May,
it's
December,
Poor Things
really. I mean,
actually.
considering like the newspaper articles that were written about the
Yes,
actual teacher and student, does
yes,
that not count as IP?
right. Yeah.
You know, and I know an IP lawyer, so I might need to talk to him about this to get his take because he would love this
Yeah.
conversation because he's big into film too. But
Oh.
sorry,
Nice.
Rihanna,
I
continue.
love that. I mean, honestly, I barely even have a pick because I'm just angry about Barbie. Um, I've only seen Barbie and Oppenheimer in this category. Having said that, I have been excited about American Fiction since the trailer came out, which is makes it questionable as to why I haven't seen it. Poor Things I was going to see and then didn't wasn't able to. It was very unfortunate. Zone of Interest I really want to see, and I know enough about it to hopefully at least kind of go based on that. I want Barbie to win. Um, I think Zone of Interest will win, and I wouldn't necessarily be mad at it because I think that the way they did it and the story and everything is very important and is really intriguing. But I really want Barbie to win because I think they deserve some wins because the the adaptation, um, the way that they did it is brilliant and has the messages that it needs to have in subtle ways and not so subtle ways. And it's it's just it's you know what? No, I don't. Zone of interest. No, I'm going Barbie. Barbie all the way. I just talked myself out of zone of interest.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll stop talking. Becca, go ahead.
Okay, so I've seen everything except the zone of interest. Um, so let's just go top to bottom. So American Fiction, I did truly enjoy it. I mean, I love Jeffrey Wright. I love Tracy Ellis Ross.
Mhm.
Um, yes, no, it was very fun to watch, and it really made me want to read the book. Especially the way that they did the ending. It's like, ooh, I gotta read
Mm,
this book. Okay.
okay.
Um, Barbie love. Obviously, we love Barbie. Hi,
Yes.
Barbie. How can you not?
Right.
Um,
Hi, Barbie.
Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was like, okay, Christopher Nolan, slay, go off. We get
Yes.
it. But I do prefer Doctor Strangelove. I will always prefer to watch Doctor Strangelove.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
Part of it too is because of like the secondhand embarrassment I get from Robert Downey Jr.'s character. Like, oh
Yeah.
my God, that is so cringe. Like
Yes.
Oppenheimer, I mean, the dangers of creating like nuclear weapons. No, how about like the dangers of like social anxiety and like being so insecure that you think that they're all talking about you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, couldn't be me. That is so cringe. Okay.
Yeah.
Poor Things was my most recent watch. And oh boy, I have so many thoughts about Poor Things. So many thoughts. I did
I'm
love it though.
curious. I'm curious to see your thoughts because I'm going to see it, obviously, but I'm like, I don't know.
I have thoughts
So
on the
I,
discourse.
okay.
It's really what my thoughts are what are on what people are saying about it,
Okay.
specifically the haters, because the haters of Poor Things, they don't realize how they don't make sense for the most part. And we can get into this at a later point because Poor Things
Okay.
is nominated for so many things.
A million things.
Hmm.
Um, the zone of interest, I mean, I want I'm dying to see it. Absolutely
Yeah.
dying. As a Jewish girl, I do love my Holocaust films. I do.
Mhm.
And one of my favorite ones, I think it was called Life is Beautiful. It was an Italian one.
Yep.
It was about this dad who like is trying to hide it from his kid. So yeah, I don't know. But
Oh.
a lot of people hate that one too because they think it's like being too comedic about it. Um, and I don't know, I'm really torn with this category because as much as I love Barbie,
Mhm.
I don't like the idea of upholding like these ads that are just films, like the film as the advertisement.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I
Can hear
don't want
that.
to give Hollywood the impression that like, let's take all of our favorite childhood toys and make them a movie. But I would totally see a Light Bright movie. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's like the right
A
kind of
light
animation
bright.
style, that would be pretty
Uh,
freaking cool.
That
Okay.
would be sweet.
But that being said, it was very advertisement. Like, did you see the way America Ferrera was driving that car? We got a nice full shot of the cars. Look, I mean, I
Oh,
don't remember
yeah.
what the brand was, so like it didn't really work on me that well. But
Yeah.
that was a car commercial, okay?
Yep.
But it was cute. Okay, so adapted screenplay. From everything that I've seen of the Zone of Interest too, I mean, I don't need to see it to know that
Mhm.
that film did the damn thing. Hmm. But maybe, but maybe the Academy will be like, Yorgos, the Oscar goes to you, my boy.
Yeah.
So if I'm putting myself into the minds of the Academy,
yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm
It's hard.
getting I'm getting poor things is what I'm
Yeah.
seeing.
Okay.
Poor things.
Poor things. All right, Alan.
Well, like Becca, I saw all of these except for Zone of Interest. I see your point about Barbie. It could be the possibly only solitary win for Greta Gerwig, just
Mhm.
like Spike Lee. Um,
Oh, real quick, there are other awards that I think Barbie is the most deserving to win. So I'm not trying to knock Barbie
Yeah.
either. So just want to make that clear.
okay.
Nope. That
Sorry.
makes sense.
The
Absolutely.
floor is back to you.
American Fiction. I like that movie a lot. Jeez, let's see here. Oppenheimer and Poor Things. Okay, Poor Things was very unexpected. Like I went in blind on that. Okay, so I had no. I just knew the actors were in it. I was like, okay, I'm
Hmm.
sold. Let's see this. It's nominated. Okay. Um, but I feel like it, yeah, like you said, Becca, like getting in the minds of the Academy. Why am I doing that? It's like, who wants to be there? I feel like it could be Oppenheimer or Zone of Interest.
Mm.
Both World War II
Oppenheimer. Why
films.
Oppenheimer?
I think it's just one of those films that's just going to win every category this year.
Just because people love,
Okay,
the
wait. I
Yes.
Academy
would
loves
say,
Christopher Nolan.
isn't
Mm,
Oppenheimer though more of like a Cold War film?
mm. Well, yeah, you're right. There is a lot of that element to it.
But it is still war overall.
Yeah.
It's
It's still
Yep.
it
war.
starts in World War II, so it's kind of like I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It is.
It
It
spans a
does
long time. Yeah.
span into McCarthyism and all that. Yep. Um, but yeah, that's my thought. I think. But I do see an option for Barbie to take it because it would be the like kind of what they did with Spike Lee. Like, here's
Yeah.
your Academy Award now,
Yeah. Especially after there's been so much backlash about her not being nominated for
nominated
it. Yeah.
for director. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so that's your choice.
So yeah, that's my spread. All three.
I like it.
Just those three. Could. But
Um,
no, I do think it in the Academy eyes. I think it's going to be Oppenheimer,
mhm.
but I could see a world where Barbie wins. So
Yeah.
Barbenheimer is going to win. I think so.
I
That's my
love it.
pick for all
Okay.
these Barbenheimer nominated categories.
Yeah. Really quick. Becca, I saw your dog and it made me so
Oh yeah.
happy. Your little pup. I love puppers. Oh, hi,
Oh,
buddy.
I have a
Mine's
kitty cat somewhere
over
too.
there.
I'm in
Put it
obviously
down.
beautiful Los Angeles. Nice
Yes.
background.
Otherwise, you would see
Not
Alan's
raining at
cat.
all.
Not at all. All right. Um, Visual effects.
On to visual effects. And the nominees are The Creator, Godzilla -1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Napoleon.
So I feel like they actually did a really good job with this category, like picking these films.
Say more.
Guardians of the Galaxy, like, I mean, yeah. Like that one I could take or leave. Because it's not like they nominate every Marvel movie for this category, so it's kind of weird. But um, I mean, the others are. I will say I have not seen Godzilla -1 or Napoleon, but I've heard brilliant things about both of them. Um, it, but even just from like the trailers, like you can tell that they definitely deserve to be in this category. So I'm actually impressed with the nominations here. Um, I loved The Creator, but I hate saying this because I like the movies, but I hate Tom Cruise. Um, I feel like Mission Impossible might. Well, no. You know what? No, Mission Impossible does not get my vote because a lot of it is not visual effects. He actually just does the things like a crazy person. So, you know what? No. I'm going with the creator with the understanding that Godzilla -1 or Napoleon may be way more deserving. But because I've only seen the creator, I'm gonna go with that.
Atta girl.
I keep talking myself out of things as I say them. So
I
yeah,
saw you slipping into that mode, and I was like,
yeah,
I think she can come out of this.
I did. I made
Unlike the
it.
49ers.
I'm That was just rude. I don't appreciate that tone at all, sir.
I had to. I just had to.
Uncalled
Because,
for.
art is like sports, right? There has to be a winner.
Yeah,
Um,
and it breaks my heart every time.
anyways, okay. For commerce, I saw all of these. Yes, you're right. I think they're all deserving of visual look, but you spelled it out very clearly. Dead Reckoning is special effects more than visual effects, so
Yeah.
don't really see that winning. God, okay. I love Godzilla -1. It
Hmm.
is by far my favorite film of the year of
Ooh,
2023.
that's a big statement.
Um, However, the creator I could see winning this category because it has stunning visual effects,
Yeah.
and seeing how they shot this film is impressive because they use like FX3s and like prosumer cameras basically to make this
Hmm.
Hollywood film. And yeah, I don't know. I know why they chose it, but
Hmm.
to also incorporate the visual effects into it just kind of lends to it. But for me, it's dead heat between Godzilla minus one and the creator. I really want Godzilla minus one to win because it was snubbed in every other category,
Yeah.
including like international. I mean, come on.
Hmm.
But the Academy doesn't really go for genre films. I get that, but
Yeah.
that's why I'm pulling for Godzilla minus one. But I can see the creator winning though too.
Okay. Becca, what do you think?
Well, I haven't seen any of these. So
Take a while, stab.
I looked
No, I'm
at
just
all of the letterboxed profiles for these movies.
Nice.
And so based off of that and vibes alone,
I like
I'm
it.
thinking Godzilla minus one.
Ooh,
yes.
I like that.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. Yeah, Godzilla minus one.
Thank you, Becca. That's
You're
an excellent
welcome.
choice. I think you
Yep.
made a great choice.
It was the vibes I'm
The
getting.
vibes.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Sometimes that's just what the Academy does anyway. So why can't I do that too?
100%. Yeah, exactly. Oh, all right. Sound.
Sound. And the nominees for sound: The Creator, Maestro, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, Oppenheimer, The Zone of Interest. Real quick, I'm going to take this one first. I mean, if The Zone of Interest doesn't win this, it's just going to be kind of like strange because I feel like every single promotional video I've seen about the Zone of Interest is either about how they set up hidden cameras or it's the filmmakers saying sound was really important to us. We wanted to make sure to create this
Yeah.
this like tension between what was happening in this garden and then on the other side of the wall. So sound was a key for this film. So that's just going to be
Yeah.
kind of like really embarrassing if like they don't win. 'Cause, like
Yes.
you had it. It was all right there.
Yes.
So that's my
That's
pick, is Zone of Interest.
that's a good
So
point.
that's a good pick, yeah.
I could see either that winning or Oppenheimer solely for the sound around the actual explosion. Um, do I think that they should give it to Oppenheimer solely for that? No, because that's ridiculous. So I'm pulling for Zone of Interest, but if Oppenheimer won, I wouldn't be like shocked based
I would
on
just be
the
like
Academy.
annoyed at Christopher Nolan if
Yeah.
it won.
Exactly.
And his whole team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Becca makes a good point. I've seen all of these, except for Zone of Interest again. Um, yeah, I see how Zone of Interest would be the pick for sound, especially since they had all these microphones in different places. And again, not seeing the film, I can't really say for sure. Haven't heard or seen a frame of it. Well, you know. Um, yeah, I'll pick Zone of Interest because typically, I mean, not sure if this is I guess it is considered international, but typically European films have better sound in general too, so
Hmm.
sound mixing in my opinion, but yeah, I'd say Zone of Interest. But also, where's Godzilla minus one? I have to bring that up for sound because it's like the creator. Come on.
I mean, I can see the creator. Like, there's a lot they have to balance out for that.
Okay.
So
Okay,
like
then
I
Mission
can
Impossible. Let's remove that. We don't need that in here where Godzilla minus one could be. Because
honestly, I think Maestro's the one that doesn't necessarily belong because that is more score
yeah, that's
than
true.
sound. But I also don't know sound very well, so
That's funny because then I didn't get the nomination for score.
which is so weird to me. That's what it's about.
Interesting.
Like,
Very
The
interesting.
basis
yeah,
of the film
like you're
doesn't get
literally
nominated.
saying like this is an amazing film, but like the guy wasn't as good as like we don't think he was actually as good at his job as like that's so weird. Anyway, sorry. I just went off on a tangent.
I wonder what it was like for Tar then. Like when Tar
Yeah,
was nominated. I don't remember now,
best
but I'm
Oh
picture.
yeah, I don't remember.
right. Yeah, but was it nominated for either sound or score as well? I don't
I don't know. Let's find out.
Oh, you know
recall.
what? I bet is it it's because it's original score.
Mm,
And that wouldn't be
Oh.
original because it's
that
his
would be best adapted score.
yes, best adapted score. And they have not kind of rude, they do not have that yet. They should just make it best score, not original, because that although I guess that would be
Music's tricky.
no, because then that would basically be saying we're gonna give this guy an Oscar for a movie that he had nothing to do with. So yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
See, talking myself out of everything.
All right. So, zone of interest.
Cool.
Yeah.
On
All right.
to the next.
Yeah, production design.
And the nominees for production design: Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. I can start unless someone else
No, go for
feels
Go
it. I'm
ahead.
still
strongly.
looking
Yeah.
up Tar here.
Okay, because I feel strongly. Remember when I said that I thought Barbie was deserving of other rewards, of
Yes.
other awards? It's this one.
Yes.
Rewards and awards. It's
Both.
Yeah.
production design. They
Yeah.
built everything.
Yeah.
They built it all. And the amount of work that they had to do, but like how it worked so well with the movie and
Mm-hmm.
played so well into like Barbie as a toy, Barbie as play, as
Mm-hmm.
fun, as like going back to like your inner child and needing to use your imagination. Like, oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
Barbie did that and they killed it. But Poor Things really did have incredible production design too, I
Yeah.
will say. But at the same time, I feel like I was more into the costumes in Poor Things,
Mm-hmm.
whereas like that's really what my eyes were glued to were the costumes. I really thought the costumes were so fun in Poor Things. But with Barbie, the just knowing all of like the manual, like hard labor too that went into it,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't see that anymore. And I don't know, with Barbie and her whole, like in the movie and
Mm-hmm.
her character's inner dilemma of like being a real woman or being a toy. And
Mm-hmm.
then with movies, having it be a fake world representing a real world. But then
Yes.
how does that kind of get clouded just ever so slightly when it's almost like a mix of real and fake because it is actually all there and there
Mm-hmm.
aren't any special visual effects?
Yeah.
I just, Barbie really, really deserves this award. And that's all I'm going to say
Yeah.
about it. I don't even need to talk about the other movies
Yeah.
because Barbie just has it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's no competition.
Yeah. I 100% agree with you. Having not seen Poor Things from the trailers and like the snippets I've seen, I fully understand why it's nominated, but it's Barbie all the way for me on this one. I 100% think that they are deserving and should get it, and they're like my personal pick too.
I guess
Alan.
like, oh,
Oh no, yeah, go.
what you said about Poor Things, just like, and yeah, like it did look really cool, but at the same time, it kind of looked like you know when you open Photoshop on your computer and it has like an image while like the application is booting up.
Hmm.
That's kind of what Poor Things looked like visually. That's what the world
Huh.
looked like. So, yes, it was interesting and cool, but also, I don't know, Barbie did that. Barbie did her damn thing. and she didn't
Yeah.
need Photoshop or CGI or a pink purple sky.
Right.
Just need the reference of the uh, car, right? And
Barbie Jeep?
the house. Yeah.
Yeah. And the
Yeah,
Barbie
but
Dream House?
seeing
Dream
Barbie's dream
house.
house
Yes.
in real
Yeah.
life, like,
It's amazing. Like it was perfect.
and Ken's Mojo Dojo Casa house?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Brilliant. And them turning her Barbie Jeep into his patriarchal patriot little Jeep. I mean, yeah.
And I'm sorry, but just like the beach, the way they created the beach and those
Yes.
beach scenes,
Yes.
like Ken going to run into the water, just face planting. Like it doesn't
Yes.
get better than a little bit of body humor. Okay.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It doesn't get better than that. All
Yeah.
right, Alan, now you may take it away.
Which also takes me back to like the writing. Can we talk about that for a second with Barbie? Because Mattel let them get away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I'll
they're
be
beaching everyone
honest.
off.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
I
mean,
think they
even with,
understood who the audience was.
do they? I mean, okay, fine, good. But also, I love
Kids
that.
aren't going to get that.
Okay. um, I like that the boardroom full of men, and then it's like for Barbie, and then it's like and then they're like chasing after her and everything. It's like, is Mattel okay with all this stuff? I mean, it's like, did they know? I mean, did they not know? Or because I think I remember hearing they like had to like beg or fight for a lot of stuff in order to get it made. So the way it is, obviously it worked out. So gosh, I Napoleon is very French. A lot of French era stuff there. Oppenheimer. I mean, that's when I talk about like World War II stuff. It's like a lot of that. We've seen that before. Um, Killers of the Flower Moon. I did. I mean, I like that movie a lot, but I mean, it's gets dark. So like it starts great. The first 15 minutes, I'm all for it, but then it's just like And Poor Things, production design wise, it's just yeah, it's like it was like is it like Tim Burton-esque sorta, and um I don't know what else. It was just kind of that's the closest comparison I can think of. And then Barbie, just yeah, the whole Barbie world. Not really my world, so I can't really speak to that as much. I never really had the Barbie dream house or whatever. Um, but yeah, I think it's either between Barbie or Poor Things. That's what I
All
think.
right. I like it. So then next, we have film editing. I think this will be an interesting one.
The nominees for film editing: Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things.
I can go first quick because I have no opinion on this. I'm really bad when it comes to edit. I don't notice the editing most of the time. Or at least I didn't in any of these. So I don't I don't know. Whichever one wins, good job. Yeah, I don't know. Sure. So I guess I'll pick one. I think Poor Things is gonna win. No idea. Alan, what do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah, you deal with editing a lot more. So what are your thoughts? And you've seen all of these.
Yes, I have seen all of these.
So do you just not have any thoughts? Is that what it is?
Yeah, no. Um, I don't think it's going to be Killers of the Flower Moon because it's like you didn't edit anything. You kept everything in. It's like,
That's a good point.
um,
No.
I just think because of how long that film is, how long was production, I wonder. But it's
Oh, no
Scorsese, so he can
kidding.
do whatever he wants, just like
Yeah.
Nolan or here, with
Except
Oppenheimer.
except make a mini series apparently, which is what that should have been.
Right.
Anyway, I digress. Continue.
Yeah, a limited series would have been great.
Yeah.
Um, I made the mistake of watching it in one sitting
Oof.
and with a friend, and we were like on a time crunch. We have to watch it within this time because there's no other time.
Yeah.
It's like, wake up, catch
Yeah.
yourself. It's like, the lawyer scene. And that's like Anatomy of a Fall within Killers of the Flower Moon, and it's like, uh, I think I would go with Oppenheimer on this personally.
Okay.
It's the most entertaining film for me. Um, Although I did like Poor Things too. It's just, although I guess I do have, I guess my problem with Oppenheimer is just the shift between time is just kind of, I don't know, takes out of the story a bit sometimes. And I
Hmm.
understand why and how they did it for each, I guess, recollection of things.
Hmm.
But uh, again, I think it's like, it's one of those things where Oppenheimer's just gonna win a bunch of stuff, and I think editing's one of them. If it's not, I hope it's Poor Things. So
Nice. Becca, what do you think?
Hmm. This is one where I'm really trying to get into the heads of the Academy.
Yes.
That's this for this one. And
Hmm.
I do think they're gonna go with Anatomy of a Fall.
Ooh, really? How come?
Something about those like procedurals, you know,
Hmm.
where we're telling the story as we see the story, where, yeah, no, I don't see Killers of the Flower Moon winning this because, girl, that movie's like 4 hours long. What?
Yeah.
Editing what?
I
I
wonder
don't
if
know
they did
editing.
edit anything out, and if so, how much was edited out? Like, how much did they say, no, we have to get it under this time,
they
so
were
we
like, "No,
can't
this
have
is
this?
a mini series, Martin." And then
Yeah,
he's like, "Okay, just under 4." It's like,
I'm very curious about that. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
I will say though, I did like how The Holdovers was edited. I
hmm
liked the
Mm-hmm.
flow of the movie. Um, and the way they would just take us from one scene to the next. I did enjoy that. Um, Oppenheimer, that one
get
felt
get into the Academy's brains. Come on.
that was a little bit disjointed for me. I don't know. And then Poor Things kind of it threw me for a loop at the end. I thought it was about to end, but then it was like, psych, not over yet.
Oh.
We're not done yet. Um, and I mean, I know that we said like there will be spoilers, but I'm not going to spoil it that much. But if you've seen it, I think you know what I'm referring to. So that's why I'm not thinking it's Poor Things. I'm thinking it's going to Anatomy of a Fall. And if I had to make another choice, it would be The Holdovers.
All right. I
And
like that.
that's that.
Yeah. That's a good point about the holdovers. It did flow very nicely. Um,
That also
and
speaks to the writing, I think, too.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, all right. I feel like this one's a fun one. Um, and you've already mentioned it, but makeup and hairstyling.
And the nominees for makeup and hairstyling: Golda, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Society of the Snow. Who's going
So
first?
I will
I
go first.
do it.
Get it out of the way. I haven't seen Society of the Snow. I actually don't even know what that's about.
It is about I think they're Chilean soccer players whose plane
Mhm.
crashed in the Andes Mountains. So think like Yellow Jackets, but like what
Ah,
actually happened in real life and what Yellow
Yeah.
Jackets is loosely based off of.
gotcha. Huh. Well, now should I see that before Yellow Jackets or, nah. Okay.
Either way, watch Yellow Jackets on Showtime.
Okay. Does have one of my favorite filmmakers attached to it, or one of a favorite, but um I think it could go to Golda on this.
Oh no, I don't think
You
so.
don't think so? With Helen Mirren?
Oh my
No?
gosh. You know what kind of message that would send? I'm sorry, but just to be real, I do not see them giving it to Golda.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
I don't know what Golda's about.
It's about
Um,
Golda Meir, who was the prime minister of Israel, and it's set during like the Yom Kippur War in 1973. Um, it there's no way.
yeah.
There's
If it's not that, I guess either. Hmm, I'm struggling between like Maestro and Poor Things here on this one.
yeah, give it to Bradley Cooper's nose.
Yeah,
I
That
couldn't
prosthetic
believe that, by the
nose.
way.
that nose. Yeah.
There's like a comparison done of like the actual fellow and Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper's nose is already way bigger. And so the fact that they did that,
But not the
like,
right type of big.
but it just, I was like, man, I mean, it definitely made him look non-Bradley Cooper-esque, which I'm sure
Yeah.
helped with like the distraction of that. But yeah,
Especially
I
in the
thought that that was
beginning.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, sorry, keep going. I'm interrupting a lot.
I could see it as Maestro. Yeah. But yeah, I guess I'd lean Maestro in that case. So I'm trying to remember Poor Things as far as makeup because I'm like everyone kind of looked like what they normally look like.
Willem Dafoe saying, "Excuse me, what are you talking about?" That's not his face.
That's not his face.
That's not his face in real life.
Well, I mean, he wasn't like completely morphed into a whole other person. You could tell it's Willem Dafoe, though. That's what I mean. So,
If you know that he's in it. Like I did not know he was in it. I just looked it up. Had I not known he was in it,
well, if you watched
I
it, you'd
would
know
not have
it's him.
recognized that.
Meanwhile, I know that's not Leonard Bernstein. I know that's Bradley Cooper with a huge prosthetic nose on.
That's true.
Really, I thought it was him. So, yeah. Yeah, I'll give it to Maestro.
Interesting.
All right, Becca, what about you?
I'm thinking that, okay, considering what Society of the Snow is about, we're making these boys look frostbitten. Okay. They ended up in the real story. I don't know. I mean, I would hope that they stayed true to the real story. But in real life, they had to like eat each other to stay alive.
Mm,
Okay. So I think it might be going to Society of the Snow. Just like thinking about making them look like they've been stranded in the Andes Mountains
yeah.
for a prolonged period of time. Um, Otherwise, hmm. I'm trying to even like remember some of the makeup and hairstyling from Oppenheimer. And I don't recall there being too much stylization there.
Mhm.
Um, but maybe if not Society of the Snow, then Poor Things just for Emma's hair in Poor Things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, that's a good point about Oppenheimer. So I'm trying to look it up. And how is there zero screen or zero pictures of Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer, and there's like, first of
Well,
all, she
most
was
of her
the best
scenes,
part of
she
the
was
movie.
crying anyway. So
That's
she
true.
was kind of crying off whatever makeup they put on her. But
That's true.
she
But like
was.
her
I
hair,
started
I
that
feel
movie
like,
hating her. And then by the end, though, I was like,
yeah,
oh shit, girl, you are good
yeah,
for something.
yes. Um, Honestly, I felt like she was the best part of the movie. Like, oh yeah, her hair's just pretty normal. Um, like acting wise, best part of the movie. Uh, but we'll get to that soon. Um, Makeup and hairstyling. Okay, so I hadn't ever heard of Golda this until the nominations. So like for that and Society of Snow, and Poor Things, I had to like look them up and try and look at like whatever screenshots are available online and all that, and then take into account the trailers. Um, it When it comes to just makeup, like the prosthetics, hairstyle, that kind of thing, I don't think Oppenheimer has it. I think it's actually kind of weird that they like the biggest change is like it's really going to be Florence Pugh and uh the guy that played Albert Einstein, and that's it. Like so I mean there was obviously some like direction there, but like um I completely understand what you're saying about Society of the Snow. Um like depending on what they did with it, that could very well be it. But because we haven't seen it, I don't know if they actually did it correctly or not. Like if they went that far or not. I would assume so if it's being nominated for things, but um I don't know. Honestly, like
Oh yeah, I'm looking at some stills from
yeah,
Society of the Snow. These boys look rugged.
really.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Look at
I mean,
this. I'm gonna drop a quick link here in the chat.
yes.
They look like my girls on Yellow Jackets.
Oof.
Okay, can I make my computer work though?
I
There we
definitely want to see
go.
this. Because everything I found when I searched it, it was all the actual men. And I was like, well, that's not helpful. Uh uh but oh yeah. Oh. So I don't yeah, that might be it. Because honestly, like Maestro, it it's really just him. Like there isn't a lot of like crazy stuff that they have to do otherwise
Just
for
the
the rest of the
notes.
cast. And honestly, that's like all that it is. Um, Golda, I mean, they did a lot with her and they did it great, but I think that you're right, um, on what the Academy will and won't do with that. Um,
It's international voters.
yeah. So I'm gonna go Society of the Snow.
But also, like, to be honest, though, I don't think it's anything crazy to make one old white woman look like another old white woman. So,
That's a good point.
politics aside, I like still wouldn't necessarily be picking Golda.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I rest my case.
I see. I see.
Like so then we go to original score,
And the
which
nominees for original score: American Fiction, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things.
Becca, you go first this time.
Oh, geez. This is one where I'm like, I'm so just like, I don't really know. It's one where I'm like, okay, well, who won the other, like in the other awards ceremonies?
That's a
Who
good question.
won for best original score? It's
Oppenheimer.
interesting.
Really?
What did you say?
Oppenheimer won the Globe, at
Yes.
least.
Oppenheimer won the Globe. And what's interesting, though, is that it's not as
Oh,
helpful to look at the Golden Globes winners for this category because
yeah.
two of the other nominees at the Globes are nominated at the Oscars.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I want to say then, I feel like it might be between. Hmm. Maybe I might go to Colors on the Flower Moon. And to be honest, I haven't seen it, so like I'm going off of vibes
Hmm.
for that one.
Good vibes.
But I mean, part of why, I mean, I've seen American Fiction, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things, and I just saw Poor Things the other day. And to be honest, like I don't really remember the score. Like the score is not what stood out to me in that movie.
Hmm.
Um, so I feel like I'd be lying to myself if I were to try to say that I think Poor Things should win that.
Yeah.
Mm, But yeah, I'm gonna go with Killers of the Flower Moon because when I make a decision, I like to stick with it. I don't like to flip flop. And because they always tell you that when like you're taking like the SAT and you have to guess, you just stick with the one answer, don't change
Yes.
it. You're more likely to get it wrong if you change your answer. So just stick with your first answer. So that's what I'm doing.
I like it. I'm gonna echo you and go with Killers of the Flower Moon. Um, the other, I mean, given I haven't seen two of these movies, but the other scores did not stand out to me at all. Um, like at all. Which doesn't mean that they're not good. It just means that those are scores that I would have to go back and listen to on Spotify to really uh, get like the full effect from. And if that's the case, then I feel like it's not best. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go Killers of Flower Moon as well.
Okay. I will pick Oppenheimer. I personally like that score the best.
All right.
And yes, it is cleaning up the award
Yeah.
season too.
Okay. So I feel like this one's gonna be fun. Um, I have strong feelings. I don't know about anybody else. So original song.
Oh, I always have strong feelings about
Yeah.
this one. And the nominees for original song: The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot, I'm Just Ken from Barbie, It Never Went Away from American Symphony. Do either of you know how to pronounce
I'm
No,
this
assuming
next
it's
I'm
one?
sorry.
Wazazi. I'm assuming.
Okay, you're not gonna get have me recorded butchering the title of it in a native language. So, A Song for My People from Killers of the Flower Moon. What Was I Made For from Barbie. Okay, Rihanna, I want to hear your hot takes first. Cause I
Okay.
got hot, spicy takes, like from Flamin' Hot, but spicier.
Nice. Um, I will admit that I have not listened to It Never Went Away. But knowing that American Symphony had John Batiste, and I love him, he's excellent. I fully believe that that is a great song and deserves to be here. Um, I am not necessarily not picking it because I don't think it's as good. I'm just not picking it because I haven't heard it, and I feel like for this particular category, you just can't do that. Um, I thought all the songs are good. I like all the songs. I'm just Ken. It's really funny. Um, I thought it was brilliant for the film. Uh, the way that they like came up with it, I thought was really funny. Like the whole scenario and the fact that it just kind of happened and then the way that like Ryan Gosling kind of went with it. The whole thing is it's a good song. It's perfect for the movie. It's clever. It's funny. Whatever. I don't think it should be nominated for Best Original Song. It shouldn't. It just shouldn't. It's I no, just no. Um,
It's like they said,
Going to no.
haha, but what if we also nominated I'm Just, or what if we also submitted I'm Just Ken?
Yeah,
Haha, so funny, but like, what if it won?
yeah.
No, but
Like if it
actually,
wins, I'm gonna be really mad. I'm gonna be real mad. And honestly, I think that Ryan Gosling will too. Like he was irritated that that got nominated and like Margot and Greta weren't. He was super irritated. So, and the fact that I think he was nominated. Like it's just not it, if
there
that
should be a
wins.
limit. There should be a one limit
Yes.
song submission per film.
I mean that too. Yeah.
Like,
Otherwise, what the hell?
you're kind of trying to rig the game here.
Yeah.
And it's funny too because what was I made for compared to I'm just Ken? Like, are you
Right?
actually kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Like if that beats out, I mean, first of all, if it beats out any of these, just rage. But if it beats out what was I made for, I just fire all of the Academy. Fire them all. I don't know how, but do it. Um, so that's that. I am in love with what was I made for. It is super moving. It's so sweet. It's so well done. Like Billie Eilish is just she's phenomenal, and I think she's just only going to continue getting better and better, and we're going to see more and more what she can do. I love that song so much, and I feel like it's not only like beautiful and perfect for the film and the actual real like message, but then on top of it, I feel like it has this like extra meaning from Billy. And that really like warmed my heart when I heard it. It's 100% what would I made for me, or what was I made for me. 100%. If it doesn't win, I'm angry. So, what about you, Becca? We were kind of on the same
Okay.
page with the one, so
So, for some reason, I do like I thought that I listened to like the songs that I hadn't heard before we started, but I somehow my eyes skipped over It Never Went Away from American Symphony. But okay, the movie's a documentary. It feels like really not fair for
mm,
this to be up here. Okay. I feel like this film simply should have been nominated for Best Original Score. I haven't seen it, but like if it's a documentary from John Batiste about writing a symphony for his sick wife, nominate it for Best Original Score. Like,
yeah,
come on now,
yeah,
okay? Do that instead. Okay. Moving on from that song.
right.
The Fire Inside. I mean, Becky G, love that song Shower. Okay, that was a bop. This sounds like just like one of her other songs. Okay. Um, and no hate to Eva Longoria because I love myself, one of these movies that's about like the creation of something. And we saw a lot of those movies this past year. Like we
Yeah.
got it with the Blackberry movie.
Yeah.
Um,
What?
yeah, there's
You never
Blackberry.
saw that?
No.
That's on my list of rage
Blackberry?
about the fact that it was not nominated.
It was like a
Yeah,
funny movie that you'll forget about. Kind of, I'm sorry, but like flaming hot.
yeah. It had Jay, what's his face?
Baruchel,
Glenn,
right?
yeah. Glenn, the guy that plays Dennis
Glenn
on
Howerton.
yes. I'm just forgetting everyone's last names from It's
No,
Always
I
Sunny.
know everyone's name. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. It's
Um,
perfect.
but it sounds like just like any other Becky G
Yeah.
song. I mean, she makes bops, but like to me, it
Yeah.
doesn't even fit the criteria of the category because I did look that up as well too. Um, so
Oh
then we
no.
come down to a song for my people and what was I made for?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. When I tell you that I am a what was I made for stan, and I mean that in the truest sense of the word stan, okay? I have talked to everyone in my office about this song. I sent them all a link to when Billie Eilish performed it live on Saturday Night Live
Yes.
after our team meeting, okay? Like, I told all of them the story of how the song was written, okay?
Yes.
About like Greta reaching out, wanting this song. They just gave her and Phineas like a general sense of what they were looking for, just a general vibe. And Billy and Phineas were like, yep, got it, okay. And then they made that.
Yeah.
Oh, like I have chills right now just thinking about the song.
Hmm.
And when I'm thinking too about like the cultural impact of what was I made for, oh my God. Like Billy knows what she's doing. And
Hmm.
Phineas does too, because the focus is all on Billy, which is like how
Yeah.
it should be.
But
Okay.
yeah.
But then I did look up a song for my people and I read the like the articles about that song and how that song was written. And there's really no reason why that song shouldn't win either. And so I don't know, because I don't really know what the international opinion is.
Mm-hmm.
Are they vibing with What Was I Made For the way we are? And it's weird too, because I guess, yeah, those two films are very like Killers of the Flower Moon and Barbie. I mean, Killers of the Flower Moon is very America centric because
Mm-hmm.
it is. But in a way, though, that like Barbie, I guess, didn't necessarily need to be so America centric, and yet it was.
Yeah.
And then considering that the Oscars are voted on from like an international group of people, it's just like it's making the gears turn. It's making
Mm-hmm.
me unsure. But I can't stray from my girl. I'm a ride or die. Okay.
Yep.
I'm a Scorpio. I'm loyal to a fault. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Billy's coming for her next Oscar.
Becky G. Oh.
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
No, Billy.
Oh my God.
Billy E.
Billie Eilish and Phineas.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm sad again. Don't tell my boyfriend. It's not what he's made for. What was I made for?
Yes.
Yes. Just every lyric.
I don't know how to
Perfect.
feel, but I want to try.
Yes.
When did it end? All the enjoyment? What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, I can cry just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it.
Like,
I can get
and
the
you
tears
can,
going.
with any of the lyrics, with any of them. Yeah.
Turns out I'm not real, just something you paid for.
Think
Oh
I
my
forgot how to
God.
be happy.
Oh my
Something I'm
God.
not, but something I can be. Something
I
I
literally
wait for.
have chills. There are chills. I don't think that they are picking up on my Apple camera, but they're
But
there.
yeah.
Okay. What was
All
I made
right.
for? Let's go, Alan.
All right, Ellen.
Okay.
This is a test.
Don't make me say, okay, Ken.
Okay. I listen to these songs. I think we're in for a fun night of like musical performances, if not
Mhm.
that. I think, if
Yeah.
anything, that's why just Ken is on here. It's like, okay, Gosling, get up there. You know,
I didn't even think about that. Oh,
your turn to
that'll be
perform.
weird.
And will they do the dance? Um,
Right? Oh my gosh. I bet he's going to be like, do I have to?
well, I mean, didn't he do something for La La Land too? I forget.
I don't think so, because he doesn't sing in that, does he? No, he just plays
Oh, okay,
instrument.
right.
So,
Um, yeah, I liked The Fire Inside. I liked A Song for My People.
y'all are
And
making me try and pronounce it. And
yeah, no one told you to step in.
yeah,
And what was I made for, of course. I mean, I think it's Billie Eilish because she's kind of unstoppable.
hmm
I oh, Kitty. I just I don't see anything stopping Billie Eilish at this point. Plus, she does have enough international following to push her over the top on this, I think.
hmm
Um, I did like A Song for My People. It was very good.
I just looked it up.
Uh,
It is Wazazi.
Thank
there
Take
you.
we
that.
go.
I mean, it's a very moving song. Like I
Yeah,
was
Yeah.
listening to it's yeah.
But as a
yeah.
song too, it's very like the songs alone that's standalone are pretty good. And then
hmm
A Fire Inside is just a fun song, really.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's what was I made for, I think.
You're on the
So,
Billie Eilish train.
yep, next.
You know,
She,
though, I was thinking too, like if Barbie was gonna nominate a second song, honestly, why I'm Just Ken and not Dance the Night Away.
Yes,
Right.
right?
Like, it
100%.
almost does kind of feel like a slap in the face
Yeah.
and like very just like not taking it seriously to nominate I'm Just Ken.
Yep.
Right.
Just
Because,
like comedic, but like it's not working.
No, like
Like
missing the
this isn't
point.
funny like you think it might be. I don't.
yeah.
It's like they clearly didn't watch Barbie because they're missing the whole point of the movie by doing everything that they did when it came to the awards or the
Well, they
nomination.
had to submit it, didn't they?
Yes. You have to
Oh,
put it up for nomination for others to nominate as an option.
then
Yes.
what the hell?
Right.
Whatever. That's weird to
Anyway,
me.
and the nominees for directing Anatomy of a Fall, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest.
Mr. Director, I think you should go first on this one. That is a serious sigh right there.
Oh, you heard that, did you? Oh,
Yeah.
my mic's on. Is this on? Um, yeah, I'm sad I haven't seen Zone of Interest because I can't really speak to it. So, yeah, just knowing what I know about it, it seems very interesting. You'd have to be very well prepared to go through these scenes,
Mhm.
the way they went through the production of it. Um, Having said that, I think Oppenheimer has the strongest chance of winning here in this group for directing, and I think that's also what the Academy will do. I think, again, this is probably an Oppenheimer year, I think. So I'm going with Nolan on this one.
Mhm. Yeah. Also haven't seen Zone of Interest. But I feel like they, again, just knowing like what we do know about it and how it was made, and the fact that like so you're directing something and you're watching it and cutting and figuring out if you want to, go again, doing all these things. And I don't know how they did that because of the way that they shot it, where different scenes are going on in different rooms in different parts of the house so that it feels like genuine and real and all of that and natural, organic. There we go. Um, and so how do you do that if that's the case? And so I don't know how they went about it. I don't know how they accomplished what they accomplished. I think just based on knowing that Zone of Interest should win. Um, but I agree. I think that Oppenheimer is going to win, knowing the way that the Academy usually likely would go.
Hmm.
Yeah, and probably the amount of Academy members within the Oppenheimer team, too,
Right.
which would explain all these nominations.
Yeah.
This one. Because, okay, now I'm looking at history of
Mm,
nominations. But, okay, before I even cover that, I'm going to say why I don't think this will be going to the Zone of Interest. Because, like, I've seen a lot of these behind the scenes promotional videos.
hmm
They set up a bunch of hidden cameras for Zone of Interest to be filming, like, constantly, which is a very interesting filmmaking choice. And so, but because of that, because by nature of that choice, there really isn't so much of a director starting, stopping at their leisure.
That's a good point.
So I don't think we'll be going in that direction here.
Mhm.
I think that would make more sense to give it, I mean, editing,
Mhm.
not
Yeah,
nominated for editing. So,
Nope.
just weird.
but that's just me. Just my thought. So then I'm looking at, okay, well, what is the nomination and potential winning history of one Mr. Yorgos and one Mr. Christopher? And both of them have yet to win a Best Director award at
Really?
the Academy Awards.
Hmm.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
Yes.
The amount of
And
nominations too, probably.
Yeah.
yes.
Huh.
So wait. So for best director, Nolan has had two nominations, including Oppenheimer at the Oscars, and same with Yorgos.
Okay.
Uh, I mean,
What do the
honestly,
stats tell you?
I'd prefer Poor Things over Oppenheimer, just because I'm like, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Oppenheimer, but it's one of those movies where like I'm probably not gonna watch it again, honestly.
Mhm.
Fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I feel like I can feel the same emotions like watching Succession, I think.
I like
Yeah.
Succession.
So
I've never seen Succession, but I believe you.
I think it'll come down to Anatomy of a Fall and Poor Things. But this time I'm going to vote with what I want or what I think should win. And I'm going Poor Things.
Nice. All right. This one I think is fun. I'm actually really excited to hear what both of you have to say on this. Costume design.
And the nominees for costume design: Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things.
Becca, you go first.
I mean, I do no, yeah, for like the Chanel necklace alone, I'm going Barbie.
Ooh, yeah.
As much as I loved the costumes and Poor Things,
Mhm.
Hmm.
I'm a fashion girly at the end of the day. And I'm going Barbie. Barbie.
Which
Alan, what about
necklace?
you?
I think it's one that she wears towards the end, and it's like all these different like jewel colors.
Okay.
It's one where like I can search for it too, so you can see what I'm
Okay.
talking about. But
Rahana, you go first.
Oh, okay. Um, I feel like this one's tricky because one, I haven't seen Napoleon, and I'm sure that there, I mean, there was clearly going to have to be a lot of costume design that went into that was really in depth, and
Yes.
complex. I haven't seen Poor Things. I feel like from what I've seen, trailer and screenshot wise, like costumes were a high priority and like a giant focus. Um, Oppenheimer, I mean, the costuming was accurate. Like it was well done for what it needed to be done, but I think the others, the costuming stands out more versus that is just being historically accurate.
Mm.
Killers of the Flower Moon, um, again, they're it, more accurate than like historically accurate than like standing out. So I mean, to me, it's probably between Barbie, Napoleon, and Poor Things. I think Barbie should win. I want Barbie to win. I honestly, I feel like the Academy is going to snub Barbie in as many categories as they can, and it's just going to enrage me.
Right.
But I'm going to go with Barbie.
Costume design. I feel like both Killers of the Flower Moon and Napoleon and Oppenheimer, I suppose, just have the volume of people to put into wardrobe and be screen accurate had to have been a challenge, as with most major productions, I suppose. So we're kind of looking at, well, actually, two of these are from Apple. So
Mm.
I guess they have the budget. And
Wait, what's the second one that's from Apple?
Killers of the Flower Moon and Napoleon.
Oh, I didn't realize Napoleon was.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Um, I actually think Napoleon did really good for the amount of, like, some of the dresses and then, of course, all the uniforms and such that he wore throughout the years. But I did like Poor Things costume design as well. I think I could see a world where that goes because I think it was Cruella won it one year.
Mhm.
Also, was that also Emma Stone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Maybe it's the same thing. I don't know. It could be
Yeah.
one of those things. But I could see that, like either Poor Things or Napoleon, I think, have a stronger hold on that. But I mean, if it's more the dresses sort of thing, which it has classically been, I think Poor Things has a better shot at that. At least that's my what I've observed within costume design. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'll go with. I think Poor Things more favorable, and then Napoleon.
Nice. All right. So, ooh, next is cinematography. This would be a good one.
And the nominees for cinematography: El Conde, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things.
All right, Alan, kick us off.
El Condi was just. It was funny, but it was weird. It was just so weird, comically weird. There's moments where he just starts flying, and it's just like with the cape, and it's just like, what's happening? It just reminded me of the movie that came became the show, What We Do in the Shadows. Kind of had that vibe to it. And it was all in black and white. So
Cool.
Killers of the Flower Moon. Let's see, Oppenheimer. Was Maestro shot on film also? I'm not sure about Poor Things. The aspect ratio made me think it was, but this is tough for me because I liked. I mean, there's all sorts of technical things with cameras that I like, but when you get to shoot in IMAX, I mean, that's for me. I think that's kind of part of the appeal for me is being able to shoot in a large format in general, whether it be digital or film. But I think I'd go with Oppenheimer just because the look of it does lend to its time also. So yeah, I think my pick is Oppenheimer, but not so easily. But that's my pick.
Nice. All right, Becca.
Okay, well, to answer your question about Poor Things, it appears it was shot on film.
Ooh.
But I don't know. That aside, I am going to go with Poor Things as my choice because just of all the cool things the camera was doing, I felt like I was seeing lots of fisheye.
Hmm.
I liked it. It felt wacky and weird, just like the half dog, half duck, weird creature animals that God created. And by God, I mean Godwin Baxter, Sir Godwin Baxter. I don't know. I noticed it in that movie, so that's why I'm going Poor Things.
All right. Um, I've only seen three of these, so honestly, I don't like know. Um, for those three, for me, I mean, it would be between Maestro and Oppenheimer, and Oppenheimer's very like, ah, and so I'm gonna go with that because that's what I think the Academy will go with. But I don't know. Yes. All right. Jumping into the favorites, my favorites. All right. Let's do actress in a supporting role.
And the nominees for actress in a supporting role: Emily Blunt, Oppenheimer; Danielle Brooks, The Color Purple; America Ferrera, Barbie; Jodie Foster, Nyad; Divine Joy Randolph, The Holdovers. Kick us off, Rahana.
Okay. So, um, I have thoughts on all these. I have thoughts on almost all these. Um, Emily Blunt, I think, was the best part. I've already said this, but I think was the best part of Oppenheimer. She was brilliant. Her performance was superior to every male counterpart. That's not to say that I don't think they didn't like do well. They did. They did great. But she was the absolute pinnacle performance-wise of that movie. Um, Danielle Brooks. Okay, so I just watched The Color Purple last week, um, which I loved, and I've been wanting to watch the original for a long time. So it was great. I loved the musical aspect of it. She just tore it up. I was so moved and I I so enjoyed her performance. Um, God, she's brilliant. I'm excited to see what she does next. And at first I didn't remember her being nominated. I was about to be livid. So I was I'm really glad that she is. Um, America Ferrera, 100% should have been. Uh, honestly, if
Si se
her
puede. Si se puede.
yes, yes, girl, yes, something,
Yes, we can.
yes, we can. Yes. Uh, uh, but yeah, I mean, she's amazing in general. I love everything she does. But like in this role, genuinely, like even just for the monologue, the way that she delivered that, it- yes, fucking yes. Um, Divine, is that how you say it? She to me was honestly my favorite part of the holdovers. Um, she was just brilliant, and her range and her like the choices she made were fabulous. Um, I have not seen Naiad. If I'm being honest, I kind of refuse to see Naiad. Naiad to me this year is what was that damn movie with what's her face where she lives in like a van or something.
Nomadland.
Nomadland.
Yeah.
It's this year's Nomadland to me. And it probably isn't, but and again, I still haven't seen Nomadland because I refuse to. And I was pissed that it was even nominated. But um, so I just Jodie Foster's great. Uh she really, really is. Annette Bening is great. I don't think that they were two of the best performances of the year, and I haven't even seen it, and I'm still making that statement. So, um, if I'm being honest, any of the other four, if they win, I'm happy. I'm good because I think they all deserve it. Um, I'm gonna go with Danielle Brooks because she had the most range and she like hit that range so hard because of the character she was playing that it
Do you also mean though, like vocally?
I
Because it was
didn't
like
mean
a
vocally.
musical movie,
Yeah,
right?
I didn't mean vocally.
Okay.
Her voice fucking amazing though. But yeah, just like as a character, like her acting range, like for the character, it was
Hmm.
all over and she nailed it, crushed it. and hit every like aspect so hard that really made you feel with her, and like enjoy watching her and want to follow her on her journey. And it, so I'm gonna go with her. I think she should win. Becca?
Okay, I would like to thank you because I would like to go after you because Naiad is fake news. Okay? It's fake news. The girl couldn't swim. Okay? She couldn't freaking swim in real life. Okay? No.
Ugh,
For that alone, get out of here.
yeah.
No. And not that it's related at all, but like after Night Country, I okay, Jody, just take a seat for a sec, please.
Did you
Girl, I
like Night
love you.
Country?
I mean, I love to watch. I do. I love to watch. And a lot of the critiques of Night Country were based on the previous seasons of True
Yeah.
Detective. And I'm gonna tell you the God's honest truth right now. I don't remember a damn thing about True Detective season one. Okay? I am watching Night Country. I don't remember what the writing was like in True Detective season one.
Right.
To me, this like is its own show.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
did love how spooky it was. It did though, it reminded me a lot of, oh God, and what was it? I think it was like another show that was like a similar premise where there
Mm-hmm.
were these like scientists who were like locked away in this Arctic lab
Mm.
and they go crazy. And this was a show that like it was either a show or maybe it was a movie that I watched
The
somewhat
Thing.
recently. No, I want to figure out what it was. Maybe I'll be able to figure it out, but it reminded me of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, I don't know. The ending, the way it came together, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, we're tying a bow on a present. But anyway, that's for another podcast episode because
Yes.
right now we're talking about actress in a supporting role.
Yes.
And so when you were going through your picks, when I said si se puede,
Mm-hmm.
that is an iconic America Ferrera line. We got it in Barbie at the end with her husband, who is her husband in real life, as
Oh, I
he's
love
practicing
that.
Spanish.
Oh, oh,
And
duh.
gotta kick it up.
Yep.
Gotta kick it up. Disney
Ah.
Channel original movie. Okay. That is what introduced me to America Ferrera.
Oh.
Yes, I didn't meet her in Ugly Betty. No, no.
Mm-mm. Nope.
I met her and Gotta Kick It Up. I've been watching this girly on my television and on the big screen now for years. I love this woman. I love this woman. And I do think that America Ferrera deserves it so much. And to be honest, the earnest parts of Barbie, like that monologue,
Mm-hmm.
like um uh what's her name? Oh my gosh. Rhea Perlman. Her
Oh
thing
yeah.
about
Yep.
we mothers stand back. I'm sorry, but I hated that about Barbie. Did not like
Yeah.
that about Barbie, but I loved America Ferrera in it. I loved, oh my gosh, love her so much.
Yep.
And I loved Divine Joy Randolph in The Holdovers. She was phenomenal. And she did
Mm-hmm.
that Massachusetts accent. Oh, hell yes, she
Yeah.
did. That's not an easy accent to fake
No.
because when it's real, it kind of sounds like a joke.
Mm-hmm.
So think about trying to do it when it's not your natural accent. Um, and I love Danielle Brooks. The Color Purple is another movie where I was like similar to Past Lives, where I was like, because I've read the
Mm.
book and I was like, I feel like this is gonna hurt. But I also love
Yeah.
Fantasia, and I watched that
So
girl
good.
in on American Idol. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was at Fantasia stand. I was calling in to American Idol to vote for her. Okay, I
Ah,
was doing that.
I
I was
love
doing that.
that.
Yes. So, and honestly, I mean, I did love Emily Blunt and Oppenheimer, but I'm too entrenched in the culture to be an actual fan of Emily Blunt. As in, I've heard she's like not the nicest person.
Oh.
So I'm kind of like, girl. Mm,
Hmm.
if another white woman is going to win this award, I don't really want it to be Emily. Okay.
Yeah.
So, that being said, this is a difficult choice for me because even though I haven't seen The Color Purple, it's like I know Danielle Brooks,
Hmm.
and wow, she is one talented woman.
Yeah.
But
She's
Divine
amazing.
did win the Golden Globe.
Hmm.
I'm gonna keep that in mind. And I would be really happy if America Ferrera won. So I'm going with America. Si
There you
se
go.
puede. Si se puede.
Yeah.
Yeah, pick your favorites.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't see The Color Purple. I was like starting it, but then ran out of time.
Yeah.
Um, I like Emily Blunt as an actress. Yeah. Um, of course, America Ferrera. The first time I actually knew about America Ferrera was, or first time I saw her was like on the red carpet of Cannes. I'm like, who is this? And is for the one film I got to see that year was How to Train Your Dragon 2. So the cast was there and everything. So just to
Nice.
promote the film. So yeah, that was my introduction to America Ferrera. That was kind of an unfortunate year for her press wise, but let's see. I did see Naiad. Um, yeah, like you said, it's Jodie Foster and Annette Bening. Still good at what they do, so can't take that away from them. But Divine Joy Randolph, I liked her a lot in The Holdovers. I think she's my pick, honestly, here from the bunch. But I haven't seen The Color Purple again. But I mean, but at the same time, I like America's performance better in Barbie in a way. It's kind of
Hmm.
it's tough because like when I remember watching The Holdovers thinking like at first I couldn't tell it was a period piece until they went outside of the the school because I was like, this
Yeah.
is like could be happening now. They look the same, these, but
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, this is like the 70s and wait, what? But yeah, I mean I liked her. I mean that's my pick. I'll go Divine Joy Randolph for my pick.
Like again, if any of those three win, I'm gonna be so happy. Um, they, man, the women just killed it this year. I mean, they always do, but
They
yeah,
always do.
they always do.
Ugh,
Speaking of women
women.
killing it, actress in a leading
Actress in a
role.
leading role. And the nominees for actress in a leading role: Annette Bening, Naiad; Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon; Sandra Hüller, Anatomy of a Fall; Carey Mulligan, Maestro; Emma Stone, Poor Things.
All right, Becca, you go first this time.
Well, I think we all know that this is really just between two women. There's really two leading ladies here, and it would be one Miss Lily Gladstone, who her senior superlative in high school was most likely to win an Oscar. I don't know if you guys saw that online.
Which I love.
She did win that.
Yeah.
And the other woman in question is one Miss Emma Stone in Poor Things. And maybe right now is the best opportunity to bring up some of the critiques of Poor
Yes.
Things.
Yes.
Um, and most often what I was seeing were people upset with how I was seeing comments like, how is Poor Things being upheld as a feminist film? There's all this sex and there's no menstruation. And I'm kind of like, there's literally like a half pig, half duck that is like living and walking around. Like it's not real. None of
Right.
it's real.
No.
Like let's suspend, what is it? Suspend your disbelief or suspend your belief? I don't
Yeah.
even know what the
Disbelief.
phrase
Yeah.
is.
I
Suspend your
think.
disbelief.
Yeah.
Maybe the women are winning in this universe and they don't get periods. Okay.
Oh, dream. The dream. But yes.
Sorry, my dog was reacting to my cat just there.
Can't hear it.
Good. But like those types of critiques, and also I don't know, I wasn't seeing Poor Things as like a feminist film necessarily either. I don't
Right.
really, it seems like that's like the public thrusting that onto the film, but then also being
Mhm.
upset about it because they're saying it's not. But I saw it more as a film about humanity in general, not so much like the, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a feminist film, but every film doesn't need to be a feminist film.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious, and I love that it gave me a new way to refer to sex as furious jumping.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Would you
think
like to jump furiously? Like, are you kidding me? That's hilarious.
yeah.
And the other thing, though, the one thing, though, that it did kind of almost correctly display to like real life, um, is how like it young girls do start touching themselves
Mhm.
at an early age and they don't know what they're doing, but that's like
Yeah.
normal to see. Like doctors have seen like babies do this, like
Mhm.
young children, like toddler age, like they don't know what they're doing. Like that was like technically accurate.
Yeah.
So like why are you getting mad at that? And the way that they showed it, it was hilarious. Okay? It was hilarious the fact that she didn't know what she was doing.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yep.
So like I didn't need to see her get a period, okay? She doesn't
Yes.
need to menstruate, okay? That's fine. Honestly, I wish that that was like true to real life, that we didn't have to do those things. And if that's what you're mad about, I don't, maybe the movies aren't for you. Maybe you should stick to like
Documentaries.
health documentaries or like
Right.
sex education videos that they show in health classes. Maybe you should even
Yes.
stick to the health class textbooks,
Yeah,
okay?
I like that.
It's
Maybe
that's
not
not
the
what this
ones
is
in
for.
Florida, but other than that, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So, and like I said, I mean, I haven't seen Colors of the Flower Moon, but one of the first thoughts that I had after walking out of the theater for Poor Things was, okay, I really need to see Killers of the Flower Moon
Mhm.
because I mean, I don't know, just like what it would mean for the Academy, for Hollywood. So like still we're very America centric, but
Yeah.
like
Mm.
for Hollywood to have Lily win would be incredible.
Mhm.
Sasheen Littlefeather,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
um, yes, where she went on stage, um, either yeah, she stepped in for Marlon Brando to like
yeah.
accept the award, and then she was like literally attacked.
Yeah.
She had to be like escorted off. Um, and just to go from that to then potentially have Lily Gladstone win, like the fact that she's even nominated
Mhm.
is huge. And the way that we've seen all this amazing media come out from Native artists, like just even outside of the movies, um, it would just, I would be so happy if she won. Like as much as I thought that Emma Stone was incredible, and I've been an Emma Stone fan since Easy A, which is
Mhm.
still one of my favorite movies
Yes.
to this day.
Very funny.
Like I love her so much. I would actually be kind of like proud
Mhm.
if Lily Gladstone won, just like on principle, but also because like I do know that she does a fantastic job. Like whenever I've seen the trailers for Killers of the Flower Moon, she's the reason why I want to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
Leo's great, but the only movie where I really want to be able to like stare at his face for a few hours is Romeo and Juliet because like he's
Yes.
at his peak hottest there, okay?
Yes.
And that probably could have been any other of like Martin's bestie actor friends.
Yeah.
But there's just something about like I don't know, Lily Gladstone's eyes, something she just
hmm
steals my gaze.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going with Lily. Haven't even seen it, but I'm going with
I
Lily.
love that.
I
Alan?
believe in her.
Oh, heck yeah.
Well, in my opinion, it's a lock. It's 100% Lily Gladstone. This is the one category where I'm absolutely sure about, but
Ooh.
that's where I'm at with that.
All right. Solid. Um, so I'm upset that I have to start with like a rant. I'm upset that Annette Bening and Sandra Hüller or whatever are nominated for this. Again, haven't seen Naiad, but it, it just does not even remotely uh, look like it's a best performance of the year situation. Um, and Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall, she did great. She did well. Um, not even remotely close to a best performance of the year. Like, which is, I mean, I haven't seen Zone of Interest, but she's in that. Maybe she's better in that. Like, what? I don't understand who made that decision. Like, who voted for her to be nominated over. I mean, I guess I don't know who else was like up for it. I'm unhappy and upset about it. Um, and I know we're going to talk about snubs later, but I have to say Margot Robbie was better in her role in Barbie than she was in her role in Anatomy of a Fall. It was a good role. It was a good. She did a good job. She did a really good job.
You know, you mentioning that though makes me wonder because I know we saw two songs from Barbie get nominated for original song. Is
Mhm.
there some type of rule where, um, like the Zone of Interest, they couldn't submit her because Anatomy of a Fall submitted her? Like, is that a rule there where you can't have the same actress submitted for different
Oh,
films in the same category?
that might
I
be a
don't know.
thing. Huh.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
And
know.
so then I'm wondering like how they could have chosen her role in the one film over the other.
Right.
But then also like the timing of when they submitted what they
Yeah,
wanted. If one film did it earlier on, like I don't know how any of that
maybe.
actually works.
Uh-uh. It's a good point.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That gets into the politics of it all, which is like really
Yes.
what the award show is about anyway.
I mean,
Well,
100%.
then there's the nomination voting first, and then the nominee votes. So, yeah. Hmm. Good
Yeah.
question.
And do they all, I mean, I think I've seen some articles about this, but do all the voters really watch all of the films to completion?
There's no
Doubtful.
way.
Very
Because I
doubtful.
know for festivals, when like they'll have their screening committees watch the films, they don't technically make all of their like screening committee folks watch the full movie. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's like at least for
Which is wild.
some of the festivals that I've been on the screening committee for, and
hmm
I won't name them. I won't name
Okay.
them, but it's been like for a short film. I mean, depending on what like they classify as like the cutoff, you have
hmm
Hmm.
to watch like the first few minutes.
Well, even
And
like in
then if well, if
sorry.
you don't want to keep watching it, then it's okay. But
Uh,
if like you feel compelled to continue watching, then but kind of based on how long it is.
Yeah.
Um, and then for like a feature film, it would be like at least like the first hour.
Okay. Yeah.
or if it's like
Huh.
only an hour and a half in like the first 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah. Like at least a percentage of it. Hmm.
But I feel like it's
I'm
more important here to watch the
right.
full film because maybe the big thing doesn't happen until like the very end, like in
Right.
Emily Blunt's case.
Yes. Or like even with Danielle Brooks, like the first 30 minutes or whatever, her character does this much. In the whole film, her character does this much. Like you're not getting the full range of the performance. You're not seeing all of the highlights. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's cheating the people out of it, but
Yeah.
who knows how they do it. Um, but yeah, so I'm upset that those two are nominated. Uh,
Who's your
I
pick?
think I think it's BS. Honestly, it's okay. So I came out of it being obsessed with Lily Gladstone's performance and Carrie Mulligan's, honestly. I felt very drawn to her performance, especially towards the end. And and it, like just so hyper focused on her over the whole thing. Um, and so I think that they both deserve it. I think that Lily Gladstone deserves it more and is going to get it and should get it. So there's that.
She won at the SAG Awards.
Yes. And the
It's a
Golden
lock.
Globes, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there. That's tricky because Emma Stone won for a different category. They split the genres up, like
Oh, yeah.
the best drama or musical
Oh,
acting sort of thing
it would be like
in a
That's right.
comedy or
movie,
musical and
movie
then
or
drama.
TV show. It's
Yep.
like, or it's like movie made for TV movie or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
They have
That's
the
right.
weird categories,
Yeah.
anyways. But
All
they
right.
both won at the Golden
Yeah.
Globes. So
But it would kind of be like a little bit amusing to have another La La Land Moonlight. It would just do
God,
so great for the ratings. It would be
I
It would,
great for
yeah.
ratings, okay?
It would.
there's always something for the ratings. Don't worry, there will be a
Always.
mess up. What? They're human? Oh my God, they made a
Right?
mistake. Get them. You know.
Yeah. Okay. On to the actors. Supporting role.
And the nominees for actor in a supporting role: Sterling K. Brown, American Fiction; Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon; Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer; Ryan Gosling, Barbie; Mark Ruffalo, Poor Things. Oh, I got thoughts. Who's going first?
I also have thoughts.
Alan, go first maybe then, because
Okay.
Yeah.
the girls have lots of thoughts.
Yes, we have so many
Yes.
thoughts. We have all the thoughts.
I'll I'll pursue brevity on this one, I guess. Like Sterling K. Brown was in shape for this one. I mean, if you saw this, hello.
Ooh, really?
He's always in shape.
Well, yeah, there's
He's
that, but
He's the hottie.
delicious.
um,
Yeah.
I liked him in this one. It was um interesting character. It's just it makes me wonder, like you said, Becca, about the book. Like, is this how it really went with his character, or was this like a movie thing? Um, yeah, and like Robert De Niro, Robert Downey Jr., it's like Ryan Gosling and Mark Ruffalo, I don't see them really taking this one um, in the eyes of the Academy. Um, my pick is Sterling K. Brown to shorten it up here, but I think the Academy is going Robert Downey Jr. Just because I'm seeing a lot of weird things about Robert Downey Jr. on the internet, so it's just kind of like things like,
Wait,
yeah,
say
he's
more. Say more.
Yeah. I'm
like
What are
curious.
the
the
things?
what was there was the Thanos meme. You see that one
No.
where he's like Robert Downey Jr. is Thanos, but he has like four of the gems filled from like what are
Yeah.
Globes, SAG, whatever, a bunch of other
Mm.
awards, and then just
I
needs
am inevitable.
one more to go.
Got it.
Yeah. So yeah,
Hmm.
my
I
pick
can
is
go
Sterling K.
next.
Brown, but I think Academy will Robert Downey. Okay, go.
All right, Becky, you can go.
Okay. Because, hey, the reason why I want to go next is because once, Alan, you made the comment about the Academy not seeing Ryan Gosling as the winner, as much as I do think that he really does deserve it, the Academy does not respect comedy. They
True.
simply
The
do
same way
not
about genre.
Yeah.
understand the
Yeah.
art of comedy. And I know that people were so upset with the way like the media was reacting to Barbie and focusing so much on Ken. But Ryan Gosling, like, he did the damn thing.
Yes.
He was so fucking funny. The way that he was able to say Mojo Dojo Casa House with a straight face,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm, I mean, sorry, not sorry, but like, he really was one of the best parts of that film. But there are so many things that are the best parts of that film that that's not to say that like Margot wasn't one of the best parts of that
Right.
film. Like it wouldn't be the same movie without Ryan, just like it wouldn't be the same movie without Margot or America. Like
Yep.
you needed him for the movie to be successful. Like,
Yeah.
and then also the way that Ryan handled all of the interviews, it just added to his character,
Yes.
like as Ken. And I loved Mark Ruffalo in Poor Things. I've also been a big Mark Ruffalo fan since 13 going on 30. 30, flirty, and thriving. Okay. I love me some Mark Ruffalo. I've never seen him in a role like this. Like, oh my gosh, I loved him in it. But again, a lot of it was comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do they recognize comedy? I don't know. And I also love Sterling K. Brown. I did watch most of This Is Us. I love Sterling K.
Same
Brown.
here.
Yes.
Okay. But at the same time, I don't know. I just like don't see him winning here. I don't know why. This is truly just like a gut feeling based on vibes. And I hope
Yep.
that this time my gut's wrong. I would love to see him win. I would. I don't think it's happening here, but I'd love to be wrong. And I love Robert Downey Jr., but honestly, I hated his character in Oppenheimer so much that like I don't want him to win. And like, does that really make sense? No. But is that my opinion? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't say more on that. Okay. Because that is just that. So my choice, and no, I don't want Robert De Niro. Okay. And I don't know. Just, I'd rather have Lily Gladstone win than Robert De Niro. Like
Yeah.
if Robert De Niro wins and I know that this is like supporting role versus leading role, but I'd much rather have Lily Gladstone win for actress in a leading role and have Killers of the Flower Moon potentially lose all the other nominations. If she wins, that's the best thing that could happen. I don't really want Robert De Niro to win. I think he has like enough awards, he's been acting long enough. I want Mark Ruffalo to win because his character was just so damn funny.
It was.
And he was
God.
so mean to poor Bella
Yes.
Baxter. And it was just so amazing. I think part of it too was just amazing to see like a fuckboy be taken down. And Bella did it unknowingly. Bella didn't realize that she was ruining this man. And I loved that. That was the most feminist thing about Poor Things. Okay. Because Mark's character, he says, don't fall in love. Bella's like, okay. And then Mark falls in love and he loses his goddamn mind.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's amazing to see that unfold the way that it does.
Yeah.
He ends up, spoiler alert, he ends up in a straitjacket and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
It's hilarious. I'm obsessed. I love it. I want Mark to win for the women because it'd be a win for women everywhere.
I like
And a
that.
loss for fuckboys.
Yes.
Rahana,
right.
the floor is yours.
Okay. I have not seen American Fiction. I have not seen Poor Things. I'm obsessed with Mark Ruffalo and Sterling K. Brown. I agree with you that Ryan Gosling deserves the nom. He was Ken, and he like portrayed Ken in the best possible way. He nailed it. Um, and I I just loved it so much. Um, Robert De Niro, he was good. Like he was spot on with his role. I just don't think his role deserves a nomination, if that makes sense. Regardless of who in the entire universe played it, I don't think it deserves a best actor in supporting role nom. Um, although if it if Leo would have been nominated, which I think he honestly should have, it would that have been supporting technically, or would it have been leading?
Leading.
Leading. Okay. Um, and then Robert Downey Jr. Maybe I have to rewatch the film. Maybe I was so engrossed in the story and Emily Blunt and all the things that it just didn't sink in.
The hair and the makeup,
Yeah,
costumes.
Robert Downey Jr. was the most underwhelming part of Oppenheimer for me. The most underwhelming part. I felt nothing when I watched him. I wanted to get, and I love RDJ. I will give anything he does a chance because I love him so much and I think he's so good at what he does. I wanted the next scene to come anytime him and that other kid were on. I was so over that part of the movie. I was like,
He played an insecure man very well because that's
yeah,
typically the reaction that one would have.
yeah, exactly. I just didn't think like Matt Damon's character deserved a supporting role nom more than hit. Like, it's like, are you
What about the
serious?
guy who played Albert Einstein?
Him.
Yeah,
Rami
what's his
Malek.
name?
Rami Malek deserved a supporting role nom more, and he only spoke in the last like 5 minutes or something. Like,
You know
which
what?
by the way, I was about to.
Where's the nomination for the bomb? Huh?
Right. That had a better performance to me. I was so, and that is not to say that he didn't do well in that. Again, he did well in that role. That role was just vanilla for me.
The
And I'm a
tension.
chocolate girl all the way around. I don't want vanilla. I want chocolate. Maybe a swirl, but not just vanilla. Like, don't insult me. So I don't understand those two nominations. Again, I'm upset with it. Um, and the thing is, like, having not seen Sterling K. Brown or Mark Ruffalo, it's really tough for me to pick outside of that. I'm gonna go with Ryan just because that's what I've seen, but I would love for Sterling K. Brown to win. I would love for Mark Ruffalo to win. So it's sort of like I think I said for actress and supporting role. If any of those three win, I'm happy. I'm good. Because
Rahana, you really need to see Poor Things.
I know I wanted to see it before we did this. And I was out of town all weekend. And so the 3 days that I would have had to see it, I was not able to see it. I was very disappointed.
Yeah, I'm glad that I was able to see it before this because it changed a lot for me.
That's understandable.
I laughed so much. It's so funny.
Yeah.
See, like I didn't know it was supposed to be funny. Had you not said that, I would have had
neither.
no idea that there was any comedy in it. I assumed it was going to be like a hard, weird drama.
And I'm really glad that I liked it as much as I did because I did try to watch The Lobster, one of Yorgos's previous films.
Yep.
But then
Yeah.
they were doing some shit with a dog and I had to stop watching.
Yes.
I stopped. I turned it off. I could not continue to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Couldn't do it. So I'm glad that that didn't happen in this movie.
Yeah.
But
I like how it's like Robert and Robert. It's like Bob from like Office
Yeah.
Space or something.
Yeah.
Speaking of humor, it's like, oh,
That's like
it's
a
either
point.
Bob or Bob here.
Yes.
Ryan, Mark.
Yes. All right. Actor in a leading role.
and the nominees for actor in a leading role: Bradley Cooper, Maestro; Coleman Domingo, Rustin, Paul Giamatti, The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer, Jeffrey Wright, American Fiction.
Good spread.
Um, I can go first on this one. Um, I have not seen Rustin. I've not seen American Fiction, but I also love Jeffrey Wright. He's amazing in everything he does. Okay, so there's no way he is not perfect in this role. Um, and Coleman Domingo also love. He is brilliant, fantastic overall. And like even in the trailer, you can see how perfect he is in this role. So I'm in. Um, honestly, if I had seen one of those or those two movies, I'd probably be going with one of those two. If one of those two won, I would not be mad. I'm good with it. Out of the other three, I'm probably going to go with Bradley Cooper because I feel like it's really hard to embody an actual person, especially like he co-wrote and directed this, I think. And knowing he was doing that as well, like giving the performance that he gave for such a complex human being and doing it justice, I think takes such a level of a performance that I think that he really nailed it. So that's why I'm gonna go with Bradley. But again, if Coleman and Jeffrey win, woo, yeah, I'm in. All right, Becca.
Okay. So I also have not seen Rustin. I've heard that Coleman Domingo does an amazing performance. And I did a while back, once I saw that he was nominated, I added Rustin to my watch list on Letterboxd.
Mhm.
And I'm going back now and I'm looking at it, and the little like blurb about it says activist Bayard Rustin faces racism and homophobia as he helps change the course of civil rights history by orchestrating the 1963 March on Washington. And that does sound compelling, but I really wish that we could see some nominations of Black actors in a film that's not about the civil rights movement, that's
Mhm.
not about slavery, that's
Yeah.
potentially even about Black joy,
Mhm.
that's just about Black people having a good old time, enjoying their lives, interacting with others. I would love
Mhm.
that. More kind of like American Fiction.
Mhm.
And I do love Jeffrey Wright. Well, I mean,
Yeah. No, that's a great point. It really is.
it's it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like similar, I guess, sometimes like with Holocaust movies.
Hmm.
And like directors winning big when they're making films about people suffering the worst way that they ever have in history.
Yeah.
It's like, congratulations. You portrayed it as realistically and as horrifically as you possibly
Yeah.
could. Good job.
Yeah. The biggest
And just like with,
atrocities that humankind has done, and they're like, I'm gonna get an Oscar. Make a
right?
movie. Yeah.
And it's like the real world sucks enough. Okay.
Hmm.
Just give me more stuff that's like not based in like reality. Or if it is, like, give me some distance. Like with
Hmm.
Poor Things. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of based in reality, but like it's still fake enough that like
Hmm.
it's not. Like there's a good amount of distance between me and Poor Things.
Yeah.
Um and I do love Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction, but to be honest, I like him. I thought like his acting was more whoa in Westworld, which I
Mm,
did buy all on DVD when HBO decided to take it off after that freaking
Oh,
merger. Yes,
yeah.
I like Jeffrey Wright and Evan Rachel Wood
Yeah.
enough that I bought that show
Hmm.
on DVD. But seriously,
nice.
Jeffrey Wright in Westworld was just like
Perfect.
blew my mind. He
Hmm.
completely blew my mind, especially when you find out what
Yeah.
what was really, oh my,
Yes. Yes.
jaws on the floor.
Yes.
Jaw on the floor.
Yes.
Okay. Um, but so now we have, and I feel like it's kind of like um almost like what is it? Like an honorary nomination
Hmm.
because like for Paul Giamatti, because is it really the best that he could do? I've seen him do better. I've
Yeah.
seen him in more meat roles,
Oh yeah.
not like a meteor.
That's
Yes.
what I thought you were saying. I was like, oh, wow, that's new.
Right? No. But for that eye alone, which eye am I
Yes.
supposed to look at? Boy, take that
Yes.
Oscar.
Yes.
They won't even reveal the secret of how they did it.
That's
They
brilliant.
won't?
I love
Oh,
that. No, I was looking that up because,
yeah.
yes, because when I was watching the movie, I noticed before my boyfriend did, I was like, they're switching the eye. And he was like, what are you talking about? No, they're not. And I was like, I swear to God, in the last scene, it was his right eye. Now it's his left eye. I promise you they're switching. He was like, I don't think so. And I was like, okay, let's see. I was like, all right, so in this scene, it's his left eye. Let's see in the next scene. Lo and behold, I was right.
Really?
Believe Yes. Yes, because that's why wait, this is the one you haven't seen this one, you said, right? Or
Yes,
you
I have.
have?
Yep.
Okay, so that scene in the bowling alley where the kid is like, which eye am I supposed to look at?
Yeah.
And he said, I don't even remember what he says, but it's almost like not breaking the fourth wall, but it's like an in joke where
Hmm.
they did switch the eye back and forth.
That's hilarious.
Huh.
Yes.
Oh
So
man,
I
I'm
felt
sad
very
I missed that.
vindicated because we ended up needing to rewind the quick 10 seconds as we watched at home. But I was like, I was right. They're switching the eye. But yeah, they won't reveal how they did it. I tried to look it up and they're like not saying,
I wonder if
uh,
it's something he's capable of doing. Because I
which would
know that
be
like I can do
incredible.
one eye only. The thing is for me it hurts. And so I wouldn't be able to do it like for a whole movie, like in every scene. But like I wonder if he has that capability with both of his eyes. And
They're
I
just
mean that would
calling it
be
movie magic.
wild. Yeah, wild.
Um, so yeah, I'd much rather see Paul Giamatti win than the other front runner, which is Cillian Murphy. Because like with Barbie winning adapted screenplay and that upholding late stage capitalism, Cillian Murphy winning would be upholding war. um, and nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of us need more stockpiles of nuclear
No,
weapons.
no, no.
So I would rather have a curmudgeon teacher win to promote the idea of excellence in academics and getting to know your mean old teacher during the holiday break who kind of smells funky.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, so sad. Poor Paul.
So I love Paul. Oh, love him in everything. Shout
Yeah.
out to Billions. Paul's doing the damn
Yes.
thing in Billions, also on
Yes.
Showtime. Showtime should
Wow.
sponsor this episode.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Who do I talk to?
I'm going with Paul.
All
Okay.
right. Well, that leads us to the final category, the big
Wait,
category.
I haven't done my picks.
Didn't you?
No.
Shit, I'm sorry. Well,
Oops.
that makes me an asshole. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Edit. All right. So
No, don't edit that. That's funny.
Yeah. Comedy, Alan.
I'm doing the Rick Glassman, okay? We'll be right back. All right, don't miss the ninth Short Film Festival and Food Drive at the Woodbury 10 Sunday, March 24th at 5 p.m.
We have Nathan Block here to tell us all about this exciting event that he is going to be hosting. Nathan, can you tell us more here?
Well, thanks for having me on. Yeah, this is going to be the ninth year of our Short Film Festival and Food Drive. It's local filmmakers coming together to support a local charity. We're going to put all of our films together into a 90-minute program, a lot of short films. We've got comedy, we've got horror, we've got action, we've even got a documentary this year. And admission to see all of our work is only 2 canned goods. All of the foods we collect will go to the open cupboard emergency food shelf, which will be present at the event. And then you can enjoy an evening of local cinema in exchange for your food. And it's all for charity. And this is our 9th big year. We would love to have you as a part of it. It's going to be a great night.
All right. So everyone, don't forget Sunday, March 24th at 5 p.m. at the Woodbury Theater.
All right.
Do da da dee do.
I love that podcast. Anyways, so Bradley Cooper, he looked like him right up front, especially when they're doing like the interview. I was like, wow, what did they do to his skin? Like, what's going on here? Is this a real tan? What's, all that. So he looked the role for sure. And it was, I mean, I knew it was Bradley Cooper, but it was just kind of harder to see him. That's why I picked that for makeup otherwise. Coleman Domingo, I just love him as an actor. His voice especially is just so good. And I liked him in this role. I like that the way the story plays out and everything. Paul Giamatti, I am completely. Oh, actually, when Becca brought up the whole Rustin thing, that made me think of American Fiction. There's a scene in there where they're bringing up like it's Black History Month, and here's all and they're the way it's on WHN, and it's like all these things that are happening to Black people throughout history, like slavery and being, victims of police brutality, and it's just like it's like a dark humor moment where it's just like, oh my God, this is what they're doing for Black History Month. It's like, that's our history. So it just made me think of that. Paul Giamatti, yeah, I noticed the eye part right away. I was like, is that the way his eye has always been, or is he just doing this? I was like, have I not been paying attention to Paul Giamatti for like, I've watched Billions for like seasons. And then it was like, Becca, you noticed my Billions, Axe Capital hoodie when we first met. But yeah, I was just like,
Yeah.
how is he doing that with his eye? It's like, is that something else? Did they do something? It's like, yeah, I want to know the secret, but okay, they're not saying anything. But yeah, that just says how good he is. Cillian Murphy, obviously a favorite amongst all the awards that he's, like I said, I feel like this is an Oppenheimer year where they just suck everything into the mushroom cloud, Jeffrey Wright, I liked him a lot in American Fiction. I like that movie a lot. Just
Oh, we'd be remiss to not mention that Miss President Barbie is also in American Fiction.
Yeah.
One Miss
oh
Issa
yes,
Rae.
yes.
Yes. Which I love.
I love her.
She's amazing.
She needs to get nominated soon for something.
Did you all see Project Greenlight
Mm-mm.
with Issa Rae's production company? No. Okay.
No, should I watch it
No.
though? It was kind of like coming up on my radar. I just wasn't
You
sure.
you should watch it, but it's
Okay.
just I watched it because I mean, you'll see why. It's kind of like oh boy, it's like you have to watch it. Then we can discuss it here on the podcast or something. Because we're all about filmmaking. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, gosh. I feel like the Academy's going Cillian Murphy. My pick is like Jeffrey Wright though, because I like that. I like that movie. I think a lot more, and that his role, especially like what he's trying to do and what they accept him for, is just like as and that when you brought up that thing about festivals when they're doing the book thing, it's like how do we have to read the whole thing? It's like it's like they're doing it like a book award thing, and it's just like yeah, I guess how do they do that? And then how they come to their conclusion at the end, it's yeah, more dark humor to it than that way. So yeah, so Jeffrey Wright's my pick. I think it's going to go to Cillian Murphy though.
American Fiction I loved it as like a self-reflexive film. And that's like the film student in me coming out.
I love that.
And you really just got to see the movie because I'm not gonna go into more what I mean by that because I feel like if
Okay.
you've seen the movie, you'll see that.
I need to watch it like this week. That and Poor Things. I think that's my goal. I know it's after we record, but I gotta watch
That's
it.
okay. My goal is to see The Zone of Interest
That too. Yes.
and
I
Killers
want
of the Flower Moon, but I need to watch that in sections, I think, because it's just so long.
I had to watch it in 3 different sections.
The way
'Cause-
films are meant to be watched.
Yes, which is why I was like, why is this not a miniseries? Because the end, okay, so what
Because then he couldn't be nominated for an Oscar.
We're coming to Best Picture, so you can
Yeah,
definitely talk
I'm
about
actually
that.
going to say what I need to say when I go for Best Picture. So, next category is Best Picture.
And the nominees for Best Picture: American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest. Rahana, you should just
Okay, I'm gonna
dive
jump
in.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to what I was saying, and then I'm gonna go to something totally different, and I'm just gonna go down. I have opinions. Shocker. Okay, so Killers of the Flower Moon. Why was this not a miniseries? Because the very end, I have spoken to a couple people who read the book, and apparently the end is sort of a what's the word? Like they did it to respect the fact that like this, I think it was like this story originally was told in that format, like I don't want to spoil it.
We
It was
said
a
spoiler alert.
homage.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. Okay, so it was an homage. It's like the old 50s-ish like radio stories kind of thing.
Right.
So it was like an homage to that time because that's how the story was actually like came out is from one of those. But there is so much more. So it does the whole thing like movies like this do, where at the end they're like such and such happened to this person, such and such happened to this person, like that kind of thing. But then we looked it up and spent a lot of time researching, and there's so much more to go into about not only like what happened next with these people, but like where they actually ended up, like what they actually did. And it just, I was really upset once we read that they ended it exactly there and didn't provide any more of that context, because I think that only betters the film, and knowing that would make it excruciatingly like disrespectfully long, that they should have made into a miniseries, and then they could have done that and really like given the audience a more complete picture towards the end. So there's that. But it was excellent. So I had to do it in 3 different sittings, because at one point each time I started kind of like eyes were getting heavy, and I was like, I need something to slap me in the face, and this is not it. But I will say, when movies like that tend to happen, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I get livid, and I'm like, this movie is 4 hours long. I'm pissed because it should have been 45 minutes long. Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood would have been perfect if it was a 45-minute movie. Great, but it's not, and so I hate it. I don't know what Leo has with like half day movies, but like it's enough. But like this film, I actually, aside from, I understand I just said I was falling asleep, but like that's, I don't know why, but the whole thing was necessary. The whole thing was fantastic. Like it was it was great. Um, I did not feel that way leaving this movie. I felt really good. Like I'm really glad that I watched this, and I didn't really have interest in it before we watched it. Um, so it was great. Uh, Anatomy of a Fall. Okay, so here's the thing. It was a good movie. It was interesting. Um, I it There's no way that that movie should have been nominated for Best Picture. What is everyone thinking? Like, I genuinely want to know what the thought process was for people who nominated this film. Or they're like, was it that they needed 10, right? This is 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, 10 films. And like every other film outside of this was just trash. Like, were they nominating
Yeah,
like
remember, no comedies, no genre films. Let's just keep those out of here.
Yeah. Like where they're like, well, we can't nominate like Mission Impossible and Guardians of the Galaxy, so Anatomy of a Fall. Like Anatomy of a Fall is not a best movie. Like it's a joke being in this category. It's a good movie. It does not belong in this category. Very upset about that. Anyway, that is to say. Um, we've already talked about the movies that we all have and have not seen. I would love to see the three that I haven't. Um, honestly, if it's not Anatomy of a Fall, okay, actually, Becca, I love you. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're my girl. Um, The Holdovers was really good. I also didn't really think it was like a best movie of the year. Like, I really enjoyed it. It does not stand out to me as one of the best movies I saw this year, though.
Oh yeah, no,
Um,
this wasn't my pick. So like,
yeah, like
oh,
it was
we're
so good.
cool.
But like, okay, good. I was just like, but like best picture though? Like so as long as it's not one of those two movies, I'm not going to be like mad at who wins. Like the rest of the films are good. I would like for Oppenheimer to not win just because like you were saying, Alan, like it's probably going to sweep a bunch of stuff and it's just at that point they're probably picking it because like, hey, it's the cool thing to like the other movies are just so good that they should be given that honor. But if I had to pick a movie, I'm gonna go with Barbie because I fucking love it. I actually just watched it again the other day. And yes, I understand. I'm saying I did not watch all of these movies on this list, and I watched Barbie for the second time. I
Yeah.
need zero judgment from everyone watching this. I will not stand for it. Barbie is just so good. It was even better the second time, mostly because I didn't have to die from needing. See, Pup agrees with me, and that means something. Agrees. Um, he's so cute. So I mean, after watching it again, it just sort of solidified that that was where I'm at. Like, I, I, I loved Barbie more than any other film this year that I can think of, and I've like looked at lists of other films this year. Doesn't necessarily mean it should win or it will win, but that's my pick, and I think that it should win. So whoever else is ready. I know this is the big category, so I'm not going to force someone to go.
I can go, unless, yeah, okay.
All right.
Wait, but before you go, we would be remiss if we did not mention the new diversity rules that the Academy instated.
Oh, I didn't know
Um,
about this.
What's that?
yes.
Ooh.
So beginning with the 2024 96th Annual Academy Awards, films hoping to qualify for the Best Picture category will have to meet inclusion standards both on camera and behind the scenes. And
Oh.
Finally.
so yeah, it's a lot about basically it's a DEI initiative of the Academy. Um, so about like needing a lead or significant supporting actors from underrepresented racial or ethnic groups, or at least 30% of all actors in secondary and more minor roles are from at least 2 underrepresented groups. Creative leadership and department heads being from underrepresented groups. And having paid apprenticeship and internship opportunities that are from the same following underrepresented groups. So it to me, it reads as, yes, like mostly like a DEI initiative.
Yeah.
But these are just new rules that were put in place for criteria that they needed to meet these new criteria to be eligible to be nominated.
So a lot of these films had to have met that from behind the camera then. It's like Anatomy of
They
a
all
Fall.
had to have.
Yeah.
I'll drop it in the chat, and maybe because it's from just the Oscars website. So if you guys wanted to like link it in like the description for the podcast, so the listeners at home can know what we're talking about and read them in full, because it's a lot of text.
Yeah.
That way they can know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Because Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, Oppenheimer. I mean, I haven't seen Poor Things, but like on camera, that does not meet it. So those have to have had met it behind camera for sure.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of different lists where it's like you need one of the 3 things listed in category 1, one of the 3 things listed in category 2. Kind of like, does that make more sense? It's almost like a mix and match.
Yeah. Like when you get your
thing.
passport, you need to bring this, or this.
Yes. But like these 5 documents will work. You just need 2 of them.
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome, and I'm glad they did that. It's kind of disappointing that like having at least one of those on camera as a requirement isn't on there.
Anyway,
even if
sorry,
that's
Alan.
no. Sorry. Yeah, Alan, go ahead.
Good point. Good to bring up.
Yeah, it's really good.
Saw everything except for Zone of Interest, so 9 films.
Which is impressive. So props to you.
Impressive.
Yeah.
And I'm tired. No. I'm tired.
Like, I'm not going to the theater again.
No, I'm going to the theater again. Drugstore June's coming out.
Heck yes.
Although I don't know.
Esther Povitsky.
Is that going to be local? I don't know. I didn't see any for here yet.
Drugstore June? What's that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Starring Esther Povitsky.
Yeah. Bobby
Lee.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a movie.
Bill Burr.
Like all comedians made it and like produced it. I think it is getting a wider release.
It said, March 1st, but anyways, neither here nor there.
Okay.
I will continue to go to the movies, Rahana.
Okay, I'm sorry.
How dare you spread these lies?
I'm sorry. That's what I'm here for.
He's not going to the movies anymore. Did you hear? No.
Yeah. Film in Minnesota is now, why aren't you going to the movie theater, Alan? Sorry, continue.
Okay, please email us. Gosh, this I guess Anatomy of a Fall, you do have a point, Rahana. If this wins Best Picture, I don't know what to think. When you have all these other films. And I guess Law and Order is very popular amongst the Academy. With like a very strange prosecutor out with some sort of vendetta, I guess. I mean, I know my pick, and it will align with the Academy as Oppenheimer.
Yeah. Right, but that's also what you want to win?
Yes.
Really? Can you explain that in more detail, sir?
I do like Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer as a person, he was very conflicted after he had made the bomb as it was represented in the film. I did not like the whole he's on trial thing, but I guess like that was more accurate to what happened. Mm-hmm. It just seemed a little long-winded during that portion of the film. Um, and I thought they would go more into his like when he gave that speech about was it the Bhagavad Gita and how he it told him now I've become death, destroyer of worlds, you know.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And everyone was just very like, and it was such a strange thing for him to say. It was just like, what? I don't get it. Like people were just, you know, at least I was confused when I was like, he said that? What? I don't understand. But you understand because of what happened. Like he knows. I guess I don't know how he thought how it was gonna be applied. I mean, how do you not know that? But yeah, I did like it because of that. Gosh, I love Poor Things. I love Past Lives. I like Barbie a lot too. I mean, I'd be in American Fiction, of course. So, and I haven't seen Zone of Interest, but I will. That'll be my whale because I just watched The Whale in November on Showtime. Um, so wherever it ends up, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
watch it eventually. Um, yeah, I guess I don't know what else to say. I personally liked Oppenheimer a lot. I liked how it was shot. I liked the look of it. I'm a very I like the technicality behind a lot of it.
hmm
Yes, Rami Malek, that was to me that was hilarious. You
So
show
funny.
his face like twice. He's just looking at him, says nothing,
Yeah.
and is
The whole
dismissed.
audience is furious until he finally speaks.
But when he speaks, it meant something. So
Yeah. When he speaks, he like solves the film. Like it's a
right,
puzzle. He solves it.
right,
It 100%.
yeah.
Where's his
Um,
nomination?
he'll be the next Cillian Murphy in the lead role of whatever the next Nolan film is. So just wait.
He should, honestly. He's amazing. But yeah. Okay, so Oppenheimer.
My pick's Oppenheimer. Yep.
All right.
Barbenheimer's in the lead.
Yeah. Becca, I'm curious to see yours because I feel like it could go a couple ways, but I'm curious.
Yes. So I'm looking at this list, right? Have I seen all of these movies? No. Do I still have a very strong opinion? Yes. And here's the thing about it, okay? I'm thinking of what movie brought us back into theaters?
Mm,
What movie kind of, maybe went back to the basics of filmmaking? Okay. What film kind of physically created a world? Which one of those movies did that? That was one Miss Barbie, Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara did that, okay?
yes, she did.
When the summer is usually a slump for movies, okay? It's usually when your Sharknadoes come out, okay?
The Meg 3.
Like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Barbie did that.
Yeah.
Barbie did that.
As
Okay?
the biggest film of the year.
Like when we're thinking, like, especially too in a post-COVID, or I shouldn't even say post-COVID because
Yeah.
like COVID's still a thing. I guess like post-pandemic world because we're not in
Yeah.
lockdown anymore. I'll say that. That sounds truer.
Yeah.
Post-pandemic world, like the way that Barbie got our butts out of the house and into the movie theater. Like Nicole Kidman said, we come here for whatever it is that she says, okay? But they play it before all the movies now in AMC
Every movie.
theaters, okay?
Yes.
You know, she says her little monologue.
To like
okay?
feel
She's,
or something. Yeah.
yes, we come here to
To
dream.
experience and blah,
to
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
We did that with Barbie.
Yeah.
We came out, we saw Barbie, and then we saw Oppenheimer. We saw Barbie first, and then we saw Oppenheimer. But also, I don't want to see some movie about history. Get it out. No, I don't care about history. Okay, I'm at the movies. Okay, don't make my U.S. history teacher think that he was right in telling me that this is useful information. No, sir. I'm here to see Barbie. And yes, I know that I said at the very beginning of this freaking podcast that I don't want Barbie winning adapted screenplay because late stage capitalism. Okay, that's different though. That's a different
Yes.
conversation. And
Different.
right now we're talking about best picture.
Mhm.
Okay. And so right now we're thinking about the power, the cultural moment in history. What will we remember 10 years from now? I'm sorry. I don't really think we're going to be remembering Oppenheimer. I think we'll still be talking about Doctor Strangelove, actually. I think we'll actually be talking about
Love
Doctor
Actually?
Strangelove.
No, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
That too.
we are still talking about Love Actually
100%
today.
every year.
But
Yeah.
the best part of Oppenheimer was the big kaboom. And then we saw it and then we heard it. That's when I was like, whoa, this is cool. Okay. But that's not enough to win Best Picture.
Not to mention
And
who went and saw that movie and was able to see it at the day and time they wanted to? No one.
Not me.
Because
I had to
you
go
would-
to see Oppenheimer.
Yeah, because you would look for like the next 2 weeks and every single showing was completely booked. Every single one. So you'd have to plan like a month out and be like, all right, now I can finally get a time that works and the seat that I want.
And think about what Barbie did for mother-daughter relationships everywhere.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer didn't do anything for the mother-daughter relationship. Okay. I think it did more for the cheating husband's side chick relationship. Okay. It
Yeah.
ruined marriages, potentially. Potentially. I don't know. Okay. An Anatomy of a Fall. Are we going to be promoting killing? I mean, I'm assuming that she did push her husband. I'm assuming that she did kill that man. Maybe she didn't. But the vibe I was getting was that she killed him. But like, good for her if she did also, because I don't know him. Maybe it was warranted. Okay. Maybe it was.
Yeah. It
PIMP.
didn't really wrap up properly. So you just don't even know.
And
Yeah.
I loved Poor Things, but I mean, would Poor Things have been as popular in theaters if we didn't have Barbie over the summer telling us that we needed to go back to the movie theaters? You know what? I don't know. Would the masses be flocking to the theaters to see this weirdo Greek director's movie? I don't know, because Yorgos is pretty art housey. Okay.
Yeah.
So like the film bros would be going, the cinephiles would be going.
The film
Okay.
bros. Yes.
Yeah, but that's it.
But would the general mass public go? I don't know. I don't know about that. But I think Barbie did that. I think Barbie did that. Okay. So
Two
I
for
think
Barbie.
Barbie earned it. She worked, honey. She worked.
All
She worked
right.
to change the world for women. What more do you
When did it end? All the enjoyment. I'm sad again. Don't tell my. It's not
It's
what
not what he's made for.
Oh.
What was I made for?
Yes.
I was made for an Oscar, honey.
Boom. Yeah.
Well,
So I know that we're well over the time that I personally allotted to us.
I think we did pretty good
Because
compared to
I
last
have a lot
year.
of opinions. Yes. But I also have a couple of snubs that I just want to mention. I won't
Yeah.
go into my giant rant about it.
okay, pick your snubs and what film in general is your favorite picture of the year?
Barbie.
There you go.
I'm not joking, Barbie. But I have 5 snubs. So for animated, I know we didn't go over animated, but animated, where's Super Mario Brothers? Because that is easily the best animated film of the year. It was brilliant. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Jack Black should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor for that shit. Like, brilliant. Okay. So makeup, hair, and costume design, honest to God, why was The Color Purple not nominated? I don't understand. Hair, makeup, and costume design, brilliant. Um, so for I, I don't know if it would be supporting or lead actor. It would be supporting. Okay, so I have two. No, I have three. I have three supporting actors, which is good because I'm pretty sure I tried to kick two of them out. So Glenn Howerton in Blackberry, best performance of his life. Coleman Domingo in The Color Purple, fucking amazing. Oh my gosh, so so good. And I will admit I haven't seen this movie, but from everything that I've read and seen, I am shocked that Zac Efron was not nominated for Iron Claw.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my five snubs. That's all I have to say because I already mentioned Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig. But that's it. That's all I got. I don't know if anybody has any other snubs or if we want to call it on
I
that.
have one snub.
Ooh, yes.
Bottoms.
Oh,
Bottoms.
haven't seen
I'm
it. I've
embarrassed to
heard of
say
it.
that I don't. It sounds vaguely
With
familiar, but I
Io
don't.
Debary and
Uh-uh.
Rachel Sennett.
Well,
And
now I need to look it up.
who is it? Is it Kaya Gerber? Yeah, Kaya Gerber.
What?
Oh my gosh. It's by Emma Seligman, the director who did Shiva Baby.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
But again, the
I
Academy doesn't
remember.
recognize comedy. They don't
Or
recognize
genre.
comedy.
I will say that there are definitely a number of movies I think deserve to be Best Picture more than a lot of the ones that are there. But because they're genre, comedy, whatever, they're not going to be. So I didn't even bother with those. But yes.
Yeah.
No, Bottoms was, oh my gosh, just hilarious.
Is that your favorite picture of the year?
You know what? Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
Because it's a comedy lesbian fight club, and I love that.
Amazing way to describe the movie. You just got me interested in this movie.
Nice.
Yeah, and if you're loving everything that Io's been doing, there's no way that you will not just devour Bottoms.
I love it.
Okay.
All right, Alan, snubs from you.
It's the same as my best picture. It's Godzilla
Ooh.
-1. You know it.
So which
like-
ones do you think it should have been nominated for?
International at the very least.
At the very most, though.
The
Dream pick
most.
for
It
your-
should be in best picture.
Okay. See, there you go.
But it kind of counteracts Oppenheimer though, because it talks about it symbolizes the destruction of the bomb and what it meant to like Japan and yeah, so it's very interesting. It hit in so many unexpected ways for especially a Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like who did this? You know, it's like, where did this person come from? And why
It's
are we
almost
just
like
hearing
another
about it now?
reminder of like just how America-centric it all tends to be. Because, I mean, maybe I could be wrong, and I hope that I'd be wrong, but I am wondering about like just the average audience and whether
Yeah.
they're aware or considering the symbolism of Godzilla.
Yeah. And
I don't really know if they are.
it
Probably not,
challenged
honestly.
a lot of things for me too about filmmaking and storytelling. When it comes to like watching a film like The Creator, how it ended, and then how Godzilla -1 ended, it's like it makes me dislike The Creator's ending more because it's like you don't need to do that, you know, to make a point. And that's what kind of Gareth Edwards is becoming known for since like Rogue One. And that made sense to the story. But in this, it was like, is that a choice that he made, or is that like part of the actual story? So it's just like with Godzilla -1, it makes you think about what that actually meant, and especially within context of like Japanese kamikaze pilots and like the value of a person, basically. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very interesting to think about. So
I love that. I love these conversations because honestly,
Like I'm going to eventually see it because I want to. Especially like after the things that you told me about it and how amazing you've said it, is. But I I personally probably wouldn't have thought of it, and I mean, maybe I would have, but thought of it in all of that context.
Right.
And that's so important. And so like being able to go into it with a wider mind and like a wider view, I think is really helpful. So these conversations in general, I think, are really
Oh, it was
important
totally
too.
unexpected for me. And
Yeah.
just, I got to see it in the best possible way too, locally at
IMAX,
least.
Dolby.
Well, as close to IMAX as you can get.
Yeah.
Plus, yes, the Atmos.
Yeah.
The sound was phenomenal in the theater. I saw it in the first time, and
Mhm.
that really sold it. Especially the music too. The music's very good.
Mm.
And that's another thing. It should have been original score here. So, but
Nubs.
that's
All
our
right.
2024 Oscars episode.
Yeah. Thank
All
you
right.
again, Becca, for joining us. This is so
Thank
fun.
you for having me. It is always fun. It's
It is.
always a blast.
Yes, it really is.
Yeah.
And thanks to everyone who stuck around and listened and watched the whole thing, even if it was in different increments, like I had to watch Killers of the Flower Moon. We appreciate it. We will talk to you soon. What am I doing? Hanging up a phone. Thanks for listening. Until next time. This has been Film in
Hey,
Minnesota.
wait, too.
Ooh.
If you are angry about anything that I've said, at least, let
Ooh,
me
or me.
know. Let me know. Let's argue about it. I'm ready.
Yes. What part of our rage did you not agree with? I mean, you're going to be wrong, but let's talk about it.
But you better come prepared,
That.
because I come with receipts. Okay?
Love it.
Becca wants
Just
notes.
be ready.
Yes. Oh, thank you for listening, Film in Minnesota community. We'll get you next time.